I'm going to hit start recording, and I kind of wish I had sooner because there were so many cute animal stories happening here. But welcome
You're
back.
You're weaving a tapestry.
I'm weaving a tapestry. Welcome back to Toonkind D&D. It's been a while. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Decade. So,
Woo!
This is very exciting stuff. Hooray!
Welcome to the Roaring 20s.
Roaring 20s. Yeah. And just the right era for cartoons. Especially...
That's right.
This kind. So you're going to have fun with this. And also, before anybody freaks out... Al can confirm that I did check that this was okay with her before writing this campaign game.
Duh.
That's promising.
Honestly, Maud could be like, hey, can I steal one of your kidneys? And I'd probably say yes.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Maybe later.
You'd have a good reason for it.
Would I, though? Would I?
I trust you.
A horrible decision, really. Anyway. We open... We opened
be
before
fair,
it gets
Uni could
more
also
distracted.
add for 1 week.
We opened with an extreme interior downshot with the within the confines. Oh, good start, Mod. Within the confines of what appears to be an ancient and dilapidated manor house. It is decorated in a homey, eccentric manner, enhanced by a scattering of dust and spiders' webs. Busts and portraits of finely dressed amphibians line the wall, while photographs and models of every type of transport, from motor cars to steam trains, adorn every surface. Amidst the creaking eaves are several real, full-sized vehicles, suspended precariously at daring angles by networks of rope and chains, giving the whole place a feel of a museum whose displays have been chosen and arranged by a particularly inventive and financially blessed child. One suspended object is an early form of biplane, bedecked with aesthetically pleasing, but no doubt health and safety violating candles. These cast a flickering and rather inadequate yellow light down upon the scene. A group of shadowy figures are huddled menacingly beneath one of these swaying constructs, obscured from our view by the roof beams. How convenient. Before them stands a proud and heroic figure with 2 distinctively circular ears and a long pencil-thin line of a tail. It is the figure of Ekim, Prince of the Kingdom of Gisnep and son of the enigmatic, but still very beloved, King Altwe. We cut to a full-body shot of the noble mouse, flanked by 2 officers of rank as he draws his sword in a grim and determined fashion, pointing it levelly at the unseen adversaries in the shadows.
Well, fellas, I sure am sorry it's come to this, but as a representative of the Kingdom of Gisnep and an upholder of peace for all of Inkwell, it is my solemn duty to eradicate you as a threat to this and all nations. Captain?
The last word is barked at the royal guard to his right, who nods shortly before swinging her enormous halberd in a wide arc. It embeds itself deeply in the crumbling plaster wall, the chain that was key to the suspension of that foreboding biplane, cracking and lashing out like a whip as it is severed. The camera swings wildly to the scene of the plane plummeting down on the hapless adversaries before it suddenly freezes. Time ceasing with a loud record scratch on the scene of chaos as this construct, mid-hurtle, pauses just above the familiar, but also rather shocked, frozen motley crew who are revealed from the shadows in its blurring candle-lit descent. The camera, focused on the troop, is voiced over by one person in the foreground of this frantic still shot, a large blue-grey rat, wearing a chef's hat, clutching an oversized ladle. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how we got into this mess. Well, I'll tell you how it happened, but first let me introduce my friends here. The camera lifts from the rat's unmoving expression of alarm to those of the 3 people stood behind him. Please, introduce yourself, your character, and what kind of a face they're making right now. We'll go in icon order from the top. So Kai, then Al, then Uni.
All right. Hi,
I
I'm
need a proper
Kai.
emoji for this, so I'm going to look while Kai introduces himself.
All right. I'm playing Charlie Black, who is a worn bard like, technically, realistically, he's a major con artist. He just makes a lot of friends here, there, and everywhere, which is probably part of how he got roped into this
Hi?
mess. Hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
I can.
Hello? I am still here.
Can I just not hear Kai?
I think you cannot hear Kai.
I can hear Kai fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's oddly
All
specific.
right.
Wow.
Carry on.
Going?
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, so Charlie got roped into this mess just because, like, yeah, he's having fun going on these weird adventures with all these friends. He did not expect to be dragged to the royal palace and possibly executed, so he's kind of just, the face he's very much making is, oh dear, what mess have I gotten myself into? Help, how do I escape?
And a very good choice that is too. So it's Owl next in the order, but I don't know if they can hear what's going on.
No, I can hear you and Uni just fine, but Kai's completely silent, and I'm not sure why. It's kind of weirding me out.
That's bizarre. Okay, you
It
do
is
your
very
intro.
peculiar.
Yeah, you do your intro. Then I would suggest logging out and logging back in.
Yeah, so just let me help with this tapestry weaving, and I found the emoji I want. So this is the face.
Yep, that's
That,
going to make really good audio. Yeah, that's
Excellent.
It's just fucking
the line face.
dash line dash. It's like, boy, I sure picked a day to be here.
The one frame you had to blink.
Yep. And my character is Artemisia. She is a female turtle toon who is also a monk, and she got into this just because she's raising money in order to go on her own sort of quest to train herself further in the art of tonkatsu.
I see. And would you describe Artemisia as a young adult monk turtle?
Yeah, she's probably like, she just,
It's adolescent.
yeah, I would call her that.
Mhm.
Yeah. An adolescent, not a mutant or anything. She's
No.
a very normal turtle
Of
for her
course.
size, but she does have experience in martial arts, and she's pretty rad.
Thanks. Very, very good.
Okay, and then I guess it's my turn. Hello, I'm Uni, and my character. It's very hard to describe their expression because they don't have a traditional face. They are in a warforged individual, not a toon, in fact.
Ooh.
But indeed, they are their name is Almanac, and they have come to Einquell to study the phenomenon that is the creation of the Toonkind. So it's very hard to make out what they're exactly feeling, due to only having, one eye, no mouth, no, cheeks or brows to speak of. But maybe by their posture, you can get the idea that they're mostly just sort of curious about this strange shenanigans that they have gotten caught up in.
I would expect them to be. Also, don't we all know that issue, with characters who don't have a face? I mean, that's just like everyday problems. Anyway, have we got Owl back? Can you hear?
Yes, I am here.
Yar.
Can you
Is
hear me
Kai
now?
talking? Yes, I can.
Yay! We're all
You're
together.
here. Hug me.
I will hug my mic, but it would probably make a very bad noise.
It would.
Okay, you don't have to. I'm metaphorically hugging you. I missed you.
I'm metaphorically hugging all of you because this is fun already. Anyway, the mats. The mats. This is gonna go really well. My verbal dyslexia is really kicking in this morning. The rat's monologue continues. So much for us, but this situation, well, it all started this morning when time rewinds with a warping crust dissolve. We find ourselves in a warm-coloured flashback, the rodent presiding over a pleasant copper-themed kitchen, the slate-grey rat standing proudly at the centre, and the gentle rays of a winter sun streaming through the newly de-shuttered windows. I finally finished moving in. It took me 2 years to get the gold together to buy this place, my very own little restaurant. Ah, I was so proud. My dad wouldn't be, but that's another story. My name is Pierre. I have always wanted to be someone ordinary. Some people might think that's boring, but trust me, like, all these adventurers go out and they get all the XP and they get eaten by dragons, but you know what's really satisfying? Making a really good big bowl of rabbit. And as soon as he starts trying to say this in his really happy flashback, there is an enormous noise outside, like the crashing of bins falling over and voices and stampeding feet. So we see Pierre go outside and be immediately knocked flat by a guard wearing the royal insignia, the Giznep royal insignia, which no one has designed yet, but maybe someone will. So, outside are Ecom, atop a beautiful dappled grey sort of big Shire horse, and surrounded by a collection of other people wearing this insignia and a flock of the townsfolk who are just besides themselves. This is quite a small town. Think like an outpost western kind of a situation, but with a couple of Annecy French style buildings thrown in. It's a bit of a mishmash. There's a tough snake-kind looking lady on another horse beside him, who looks the strong silent type and is carrying a massive halberd, and a huge guy sitting on a donkey who you would be worried for the fate of their spine, but it's very small, but it just doesn't seem to mind the fact that it has this enormous mountain of a man upon it, who looks blissfully happy to be involved with all this and very, very proud, with his tiny head perched right at the top of this heap of flesh that is his body's. So, there's the crowds gathered around Ecom and this hubbub which is happening. Where are your characters? Are they in the crowd? Are they in a building seeing this? What do they do? We'll go for the top again, yeah.
I'm gonna say Charlie was probably just like walking past, and he then does that whole sort of thing where like his head turns, he keeps walking, then his foot raises up, and then he just kind of swivels on the spot and comes closer because there is ruckus happening. This is a good time to maybe either pick pockets or just find out generally what's going on.
Very good. Oh, have we lost Owl again?
Owl?
Yes, it's me. It's me. Sorry, I'm waiting patiently because like I'm an anxious. So Artemisia is the type who doesn't really care about royal affairs, and in fact, she's just been roaming the lands in search of new flavors and new techniques she can add into her repertoire of martial arts. So she was actually looking for Pierre's restaurant because she heard that it was new. And also the fact that he's a rat with a ladle kind of like reminded her of home. Not say it's like not all turtles are raised by rats. Come on, guys. Don't be turtlist, but her mom was a rat, so
This is an amazing coincidence because I didn't know any of this.
Almanac was probably just making sort of standing around in the middle of the street, sort of drawing attention, but they've maybe been standing there for several days just writing in their notebook constantly, and people have learned to start ignoring them. And as this ruckus has begun, they have flipped to a new page and continued scribbling very, very quickly.
That's good. That's really good. So Ecom has clambered up onto the haunches of his dapple grey steed to address the crowd, and he's flapping his hands, clears his throat. Apparently he's tried to start this speech several times, but he just can't because people are so excited because he is the prince of this nation, which is really kind of extraordinary. You're quite a way off from the happiest place on earth, which is the, as we all know, the capital, Givesnip. So this is sort of over a hill and then to the right, and then you hook a left over a bridge. It's kind of like, it's not a million miles away, but it's pretty out there. So this is a pretty big event for these people. He says,
Yeah, it's great to be here. Nice to meet you, yes. Now, my good old pop, that's the king to you folks. Well, he's been getting some of the finest brains in Inkwell together to do something about this, about what's been going on.
And there are some grim nods of understanding and mutters of fear, of hope, and of dark things that people would rather not talk about.
Well, it's taken some time, but we think we might have a plan. The problem is, it'll take resources that we don't have. Oh, the short and long of it is we've got to raise that money somehow. And seeing as it affects everybody in the kingdom, we can't afford to rely on volunteers.
The large man with the bald head chuckles dimly. Can't afford. See, cause it's like money stuff. And he elbows the still stoically silent lizard person beside him, who sighs in an extremely audible fashion. Ecom coughs as well.
To make sure everyone pays fair and square, I've been sent out to collect this emergency tax. Now, I'm sorry if that's hard for some of y'all,
And you hear some of the people in the crowd who are kind of like not into this idea.
but it's percentage based, so it's all fair. It's 20%.
And there's another sort of groan.
Oh, well, I know it's kind of steep, but if you think about what's been happening, I would think it's kind of fair.
And then there's some subdued, but kind of, at least they're doing something.
Oh, and, if anyone is thinking about doing otherwise,
He nods back at the small, but, considerable horde of royal soldiers behind him. They are largely hidden, undersized, under their oversized helmets and armour, but the impression they make is clear. Pay in gold or teeth. So there's some more kind of ruckus murmurings. Do any of you take the opportunity to say anything? Ask any questions?
Almanac is just very enthusiastically taking notes on, this is how their politics work in this country. Very interesting. Not what they would have expected, but sure.
I think Charlie doesn't outright yell out any questions or anything, but he does kind of lean over to the two next to him, kind of elbow them inside, go Psst, hey, what's going on here?
Your guess is as good as mine, man. I mean, they just turn up and then they ask us for money. Oh, well, they've been trying to fix this problem for ages. Then, yeah, but they haven't actually done anything. And now they show up and ask for money without saying what they're going to do. Oh, I don't know. The king can be trusted. I've been here for many years and he's never led us astray.
But problem. You say problem. What sort of problem we're talking about?
And both of them look at each other and then look at you
do you not know?
I am new in town.
You don't know what's been happening all over Inkwell. Where have you been?
And the other guy is also like,
yeah, I mean, I heard that there were these, it was terrible. There was this town over, and there were these things. They were like outlines, but they didn't have colour. And, you heard that too. Oh, aye. And then I'm Scottish too for some reason. That wasn't meant to happen. I'm gonna get my accent back. There, I've reclaimed my accent. Ha! You think you can come in to my brain and make everybody Scots? I don't think so.
Oh, well now we're getting touchy, aren't we? And as this is continuing, Ecom actually notices that you're having this conversation. It says,
if anyone has any questions about what's been happening, we'll answer them as best as we can.
No, all good here, mate.
Glad to hear it. And he gives you a really big wink and a nod and a smile.
Artemisia is completely ignoring this hullabaloo, and she looks like more inconvenienced than anything. With like typical teenage ire, she couldn't care less about like the bigwig 1% tunes who hoard all the good stuff and ask for money without like allocating it properly. So she just kind of turns around in the middle of the crowd and walks right into Remy's restaurant, closes the door, big slam. She does not care.
This is interesting because the owner of the establishment is still outside and is sitting on his ass where he fell, and he looks just absolutely gobsmacked. If anything, like, actually, are any of you looking that way? Probably not. But if anyone was to make a perception roll, they would notice that Pierre is looking distraught. He looks real bad. And no one else seems to be paying attention to this, and it seems like the guards and Econ want to wrap it up. And they say, yep, nobody notices what's going on with a perception roll with a 6. Good job.
My luck.
Good job. Well, you are taking notes on what's happening. I mean, that's believable.
True.
Oh, here come the rolls. An 8. No, you walked straight
Therefore,
into.
she does not give a shit.
You walked into the restaurant. You didn't even
Go on, my
see.
perception.
You didn't even see the person who owns it sitting on the floor. And here comes Charlie. Okay, you noticed.
Actually notices something, maybe?
Yeah. Actually, because Charlie, because you're a bard, you get a really good read off the crowd as a whole, and it's a really interesting mix because 50% of them seem kind of excited about this. They're not like super happy about having to pay money, but they've clearly been waiting for something to happen, for something to be done, and they're actually really relieved to hear it. The other 50% are like not into this, but no one's actually saying anything because there's a bunch of heavies, and it's like there's an uncomfortable feeling about this. And basically, Ecom sums it up, says,
Well, folks, I'll be back tomorrow to collect, and I trust all of you explicitly to partake in this very important tax, but it's either you pay or you're a traitor. So long!
and they all get back on their horses and they ride off towards wherever they have decided to settle for the night. And likewise, the locals kind of peel off and mutter or just kind of mope around and talk to each other. And you are left with a largely empty plaza with this rat who's getting off the floor looking kind of shaken up and realizing someone went into his restaurant, which he didn't, open yet. So, on that basis, what are Almanac and Charlie going to do? Because we'll get to Artemisia in a second.
I guess I'll go first.
I'm still thinking. I think Charlie. Oh, actually, I think Charlie's kind of just because after getting his kind of read of the crowd and go like, oh yeah, everyone seemed pretty willing to do this. Seems pretty weird this come in taxing everyone along on a day-to-day basis. Like Charlie's been out of Inkwell for a while with all his other adventures, but then he sees this little rat scurry back into the restaurant, not looking very happy, and okay, something going on here, maybe some more information on these weird taxes. Gonna go sidle in and ask a couple of questions, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, you follow Pierre into the restaurant. Almanac, are you staying outside or?
Almanac will take a look around, try and they'll fold over a piece of paper in their book and decide to follow where some of the people have gone. And they caught sight of Charlie darting in and decides why not.
Okay, well, the first thing you're going to come into is Pierre asking Artemisia,
Sorry, the restaurant isn't open yet. Can I help you, Mr. New person? Hi.
have a time of it because she's currently in his kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
She's taken.
before you take anything out, I would like you to make another perception check, but I would add a +2 bonus to it because you know about cooking stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's great! I already get +2 to No, wait. This is an insight check.
Perception.
Oh, then yeah, I already get +2 to perception, so +4
great,
for me.
okay.
Or
Oh! Woo!
Kitchen good.
Kitchen is good. That
My
is
kitchen real good.
It's a really nice kitchen. All of the fittings are beautiful and very new, but the thing that you notice that every kitchen ought to have and this one doesn't is ingredients. There is no food in this kitchen, and Pierre is kind of standing there wringing his hands and is clearly still thinking about what happened outside. And just because that perception roll was so on top of it, you realize that this is a new place, this is a new guy, he hasn't started his business yet. If he has to pay that tax, he won't have any money to buy ingredients. He won't be able to do anything.
It took Pierre like a couple minutes to notice that Artemisia went inside and to follow her. So during that 5 to 10 minutes where everyone was just in a tizzy and bustling over the tax news, she had pulled out some of her travel ingredients, her travel rations, and used her large wok, which is actually her great club, and she's making fried rice. It smells really good in there.
That's really nice. And Pierre is immediately distracted and, is trying to be like, and hey, what's your, what have you put in there? And he comes over and is almost shoving his face right into that wok because he's like, I gotta know what's going on. While this very adorable scene is happening, what are Charlie and Almanac up to?
I went first last time.
Okay.
Okay. Almanac. Well, can they see the kitchen from here? Is it visible or is it closed off from the rest of the building?
Oh yeah, no, it's an open plan. He's knocked the wall down so everyone can see what's happening in the kitchen. It's going to be one of the parts of the appeal of his restaurant.
Okay. Almanac will stand in the door and go, "Hello, I am conducting research regarding the state of Einquell. I have some questions if you would be interested in filling out my survey on the events that have just occurred."
Pierre is going to give that a hard pass. He's just so absorbed in what's happening that he waves a hand, but he's also assuming that you're asking the other guy who just entered his building. But people are doing that, so at least people are coming in, so he doesn't mind that Charlie's walked in.
Charlie is, for the sake of, as the camera pans around and is looking at everyone else, Charlie's going to effectively vanish right up until the point where Artemisia has, finished cooking and is gonna oh yeah, finished all this, about to plate up, in which case as the camera kind of pans over to her putting everything in bowls and everything, Charlie will just be sitting at a bench with a bowl and a spoon in hand already just waiting to get served because there's food. Yes.
Artemisia looks at Almanac and says, "Dude, you're harshing my mellow.
Oh,
Chill." And then she takes the stuff she's divvied out and she strides over with purpose over to Pierre. She guides him to a table, settles him down, and puts a bowl of fried rice in front of him and a spoon. And then she goes back over to the kitchen, turns the burners off, and takes her own food and sits next to him, ignoring Charlie a little bit. And she has already put the rest of the fried rice in a large serve it yourself bowl in the middle of the table. So currently she's just looking over at Pierre and looking a little bit concerned, but mall rat concerned, in that she's sort of oh, this could be bad. I can't stop watching. Oh.
Interesting. Before I get to what Pierre's doing with this food, I've got to know, does Almanac eat?
Almanac does not eat. Their head sort of quirks to the side, and they go, "I am sorry for harshing your mellow. Would you like me to actually chill this room, or was that just an expression?"
Expression.
I see. Well,
This combination of characters is so good already. Sorry, carry
um, well, if there is no data to be gained here, I will be taking my leave. Thank you for your time.
Get more in tune with the vibe of the room, man. This is serious.
As
You'll
Almanac
get your
sort of
information.
as Almanac starts to leave, Pierre has a mouthful of this really good rice, and he's doing the whole, there are abstract colours happening either side of his face. Like, this isn't even in his brain thing. Like, this just happens when he eats something really good. And he's, like, analysing what he's... And he's like, oh no, I'm away. Oh, that was hot, but really good. Hot but good. Oh, you gotta tell me what that spice is. Is it oregano? I don't know. Anyway, hey, you three look like... Are you good at solving problems? Because I've got a problem. And he's like, sort of starting to realise that everything that has just happened in the past 10 minutes is crazy. And he doesn't know why he's asking you, who are three complete strangers, to help just straight off. But hey, why not it be his turn to be crazy too? That was the worst sentence I've ever said. He's just gonna take this opportunity.
You're doing great.
What are your... Actually, names. Names are good. You all have names? Sometimes people don't. You know, I met this troll guy the other week, and he didn't have a name. That was awkward. But yeah, can you... Who are you? Hi.
Charlie, with a mouthful of food. Go, Charlie.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Charlie. I think that was Charlie. I'm Pierre. Hi. This is my restaurant, or would have been if I wasn't totally doomed right now. You lady who made this really good rice. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Artemisia, and like I just graduated from the culinary monk school, wherever monks study. I don't know. It was super informal. My mom taught me a lot. Anyway, I'm just out and about, and I like looking for new flavors, and you're a new flavor. Everywhere else has been around for like ages. Nobody starts anything up because no one has any cash.
Oh, tell me about it. And he sort of almost starts crying as you say that. But he turns it into a laugh. So like, well, your mom was very talented. I might be hiring you if I had any money, which I don't. And you, what's your name? And he looks kind of scared of you, Almanac.
hello, I am Almanac. My name is also my function. I am here in the Einquell learning information about how things are conducted here.
He looks like he does not know how to react to this. I heard a kitty. Where's the kitty?
Please tell your cat that I love them.
Yeah.
Sorry, she's meowing. She's hungry, but I don't want to get up and interrupt the game.
It's because we're talking
Just
about
Tell her I
food.
love her.
Aw.
Give me like 2 or 3 minutes and just... I'm still here. I'm just putting food in her bowl.
Of course. We'll say that a cat walked in, and Charlie, being the heroic bard he is, decided to give someone else's rice to it because he's also Charlie.
I realize I actually forgot to note in the descriptions. Charlie is like a cat. It's like similar sort of style as like cats don't dance.
Oh, this is so
It's
meta.
like, Charlie just like another cat walks in, is like, oh yeah, friend. Like grabs another bowl, scoops a bit of rice, puts that down on the floor.
And we're deep into the inkwell of a world where cartoon talking ducks can also feed ducks on ponds, like of a literal duck sort. So, Pierre basically...
He's domesticated.
Yes! That is the most cursed panel in the history of comics, I swear.
It's so cursed.
So weird. But anyway, if you don't know what that is, Good luck. So Pierre
I
basically
return.
Pierre basically describes like his situation. So he's just opened this restaurant. He has no money for ingredients, and 20% of what he has earned basically it equals the rest of his money and then some. Like, he's gonna be in debt. He might not be able to pay tomorrow. He's like gonna have a time getting it all together in time. And you get the feeling like that he's new around this town. Like, he's moved here to open this restaurant. And he sums that up by saying, I don't know, guys. I felt like there was was it just me? Was there a kind of weird vibe in that crowd? If you could, like, even just, like, ask around, like, if enough people agree that this isn't on, maybe we can buy some more time. Anybody? No? Okay, I'll just go and break into my safe. And he starts walking off to the other end of the room with his tail dragging along behind him.
Wait.
Wait. Like, from what I had a quick chat in the crowd earlier, and from what I heard, other people aren't too happy about this tax either. They just reckon it'll get rid of the problems, but no one knows what it's actually doing.
Huh. Well, yeah, you know what? That's right. No one knows what's going on. And he's sort of doing the walking back and forth and wagging his finger with a hand under his chin. And it's like, oh, yeah. I think we could have a basis for at least getting, like a month or something. We need more time. We need more information. You guys go out and if you do research for me, I will feed you with something. And he's like, I don't know what, because I don't have shit. And I'll try and get something organized on my end and ask around if anybody comes in, because apparently people like doing that already, which is great because I want people to do that. And he's pushed you out of the door as he's saying that, and he's like, okay, good luck, meet back here in like an hour. Yeah, an hour. 2 hours. 2 hours is better. Yeah, okay, bye. And the door shuts.
Remember to put the rice in the cooling box.
He opens the letterbox in the door and says, got it, and closes it again.
Right.
Classic
Almanac, like, it does not even hesitate. Like, he asked them to do what they were already planning on doing. So they're just gonna march out into the street to start asking people, hello, I am conducting a study on the state of things here in Einquell. Can you tell me how you feel about the events that have just occurred?
Okay, you're just walking up to the first person that you see.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, just to give you a layout, because I didn't draw any maps for this game, I'm so sorry. But
Okay.
there's the plaza with the restaurant, and it's basically like a circle. This town is sort of centered around this empty circle in the middle, and you feel like there should be like a well or a fountain or something, but there isn't, because it's a town that has like not existed for that long. You start looking around and it's kind of like people have been coming here and adding stuff to it, but it's still like it's just coming out of this phase of being the oldest building is the tavern, as is tradition in a D&D game. But basically you get the feeling that this was a crossroads with an inn for people who are travelling, and gradually people have sort of thought, this would be a good place to settle and make a living. So there's the tavern, there's the restaurant behind you. Most people have actually already disappeared. There's something that looks like a sort of you can buy anything store, whatever you guys call that in the States. I don't even know what we call it over here because my brain's done a bunk. I'm coming up with Tesco's, Kai. This is not helpful.
I'm thinking, are you thinking like Poundland or something?
Yeah, or
Just, like,
Walmart or something.
You can buy, I don't know.
It's a fantasy Costco.
I believe the general term
Regular Costco.
is the general store.
Oh, thank you, Uni, for coming in with the single brain cell. I knew there was a word for it. General store. I'm doing well. Hey, man, it's
No,
half past
because
8
the
in the
general
morning.
store is where you buy generals.
Oh, of course. Yeah, so there's a general store, there's a clothes store, there's a sort of tailor, and there is something that looks like a bank. That's basically all there is, and a couple of houses. But the first person, Almanac, because you took the initiative, without rolling it, but the person you have walked up to is an old lady who seems to be like, having been lost in the dust. She's also heading back to her little house, and she has a birdcage with her, and she turns around and says,
Oh, hello, dear. What can I do to help you?
Hello, I'm conducting a study on the state of things here in Einquell. I was hoping you could take a small survey on your feelings on the events that just occurred in this town.
Oh, well, I don't really understand what just happened, but if it's for the king, then I understand completely. Isn't that right, sweetie?
And the little bird in the cage sort of looks at you with its big goo eyes and doesn't say anything, but you sort of get the feeling that it's kind of judging you, despite being very adorable. It's weird. You get an odd feeling from this bird. And yes, so the old lady doesn't seem to be going to fight this event.
Can you tell me what you think the king will be doing to aid in the issues plaguing this country?
Well, now that you ask, I really don't know. That's a very interesting question, isn't it, sweetie?
And the bird sort of looks at you and looks at her and looks at you and says,
Well, I don't know, but I did see,
and it doesn't actually say what it saw.
well, I thought I tore anyway.
You're gonna have to, do something. You've got to make a roll here, buddy.
Can you please elaborate on what it is that you saw?
Cool. Roll me persuasion.
Okay. That's beep. That is the incorrect thing to have in my copy paste.
God, I'm just picturing Almanac versus one of those Are You a Robot captcha games.
And they have failed. Oh, they failed so bad. That's a 4. That's a +2 and a 2. That's a 4.
That is 2 times in a row that I have rolled a 2.
Wow. That's
The
awesome.
Wazzle spreads.
It's not even just Wazzle, it's just me.
The dice don't like you.
No.
They really don't.
Basically, the old lady sees you trying to. I don't know. What do you do when you're trying to do this persuasion? Are you just talking, or do you do any physical action? Because you're not with a face. You have to rely on body language.
They've just sort of pulled out their notebook and are just sort of leaning forward intently, scribbling down everything that they're saying.
Right. Okay.
They're just being very attentive.
The lady has been so unpersuaded, and likewise the little shit of a bird, that they just don't trust you, and she thinks that you're trying to con her.
Oh, I understand what it is you're after now. You're trying to get my ISBN number or my personal account. Oh, you wicked robots. I've been warned about you capturing people.
And she's hitting you over and over with her handbag, which does absolutely no damage because you are massive.
If it wasn't for that helpful young man who was so large and helped me across the road, this would be a terrible morning. Oh, I have had enough of people like you taking advantage of unsuspecting and extremely clever old ladies like myself. Oh, come home
While
with me.
she's absolutely
there. Almanac is standing there taking the hits and just writing all of this down.
Okay.
While this old lady... Sorry.
No, Al, you go first. It's okay.
Okay. While this old lady is absolutely going off on Almanac, Artemisia just kind of sidles around him and with her fabulous monk skills, gently grabs the old lady's wrist, stopping her from whacking Almanac with the
Help! I'm
purse.
being accosted! Help!
help! And
You're not being accosted.
You
okay,
did the
can
wrong
Charlie
move there.
please-
Like the cage door
Charlie, come save
opens.
it.
The cage door opens, and this
You are
bird,
literally committing assault.
the bird has like left the cage, and that's all I'm gonna say for a moment. Charlie, what are you doing?
Charlie, while watching this, like, Charlie, being the actual con artist in the group, is just watching this whole thing going down and is just kind of like rubbing at his temples because, dear gods, this is a mess. He whips out his disguise kit really quick and just pulls out like a hat and like some fancy shiny badge that he can pin onto his lapel. And then like pulls out like a notebook and a pen, quickly steps in and just kind of like tries to get in between everyone, not touching anyone. All right, everyone, come on, calm down. Bit of a mess. Really sorry about this, ma'am. We're part of like Inkwell's Happiness Society. We're trying to do a bit of a survey here, take note of actually how happy people are, see what their opinions are on certain things, especially stuff that's going on with the Royals. We always love the Royals, and we just want to make sure we're getting accurate data. My friends here, sorry about them. Not quite getting the right approach. They're still trainees. Sorry about that. And what sort of role would I have to make?
At the moment, you're gonna have to. Hang on. I don't have to ask you because I have your passive perception here. Let's just see what happens.
Oh.
I'm gonna say that you don't notice, or does that mean that I fail? Help me out here.
I don't know.
Technically,
I don't know what you're rolling. But
I'm rolling against Charlie's passive perception.
that means that you fail.
Oh,
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, you fail.
Yeah, you have to get over his passive perception to fail him.
I thought it was that way around, but I always get confused. Thank you very much. Okay, so you all, because that was a 1, you all definitely hear, I tore a putty tat, and hear a noise. Make a dex saving throw, everybody.
Oh dear.
Okay, D20. God, what are my saving throws anyway?
No, that's not a 2.
It's not a 2.
Hey.
Not great
Well,
either.
that's not a 2
Oh
either.
my gosh!
Ooh.
Cha-ching! We got a 777! Actually, as you all roll this, you can hear in the tavern someone gets must have rolled really well on the one-armed bandit because you hear, woo, jackpot! And all these coins come flying out because 3 times in a row, hot damn. But none of you avoid the inevitable safe that comes falling down upon you from the heavens.
Would you consider a safe to be a type of large missile?
I would. What do I roll for that?
I don't know, but it says I can use my reaction to deflect or catch the missile when I am hit by a ranged weapon attack. I would call an axe falling from the sky a ranged weapon attack.
Yes!
When I do, the damage that I take from the attack is reduced by 1d10 plus 3.
Okay, that's great. But it is a safe, so I'm afraid it's going to be... what would you say is fair for a safe falling on you? A D8, I would guess.
Oh god, and we're not even like level 5, so we can't like brush this off as toons. We can't just brush this off.
No, you can't. Okay, so that's 3 damage. It could be much worse. The safe was actually full of paper, not gold or iron bars. So.
Come on, why isn't it loading?
It happens.
There we go.
Okay, you actually gain health points. That's.
It's just if you reduce damage to 0, which I did, and have a free hand, you can spend a key point to make a ranged attack. I don't need to make a ranged attack. I'm just gonna say, with a roll that good, can I have used my giant walk to have just smacked the safe like a baseball?
I'm going to be nice and say yes, because that would look really good and would be funny. And that's the rule in this game, is if it's funny, I will let it go. So, actually, because Artemisia has done that so well, the safe doesn't take a chunk out of our bard or warlock, and it sort of goes ka-ping, tong, poof, and you hear a sort of disappointed, oh... And I set up that joke so well from way above you. And yeah, clearly he's just like got up and pushed this out of a window, which is completely unrealistic and therefore completely expected. So yes, but in this kerfuffle, the old lady has...
I thought I taught karage.
Yeah! The old lady has tried to make a strength check against you to escape. So, and this is where the fun begins. So, she's she did do wrestling when she was younger. So, even though it's a +3, that's still just an 8. Translator's note: Karage is fried chicken.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, does an 8 get out of that grapple? I'm guessing not.
No, it does not outdo my armor class, which is a 12. So, Artemisia is still just holding this old lady's arm gently, with her walk in the other, and she looks directly at her and says, maybe you should calm down and stop, like, harshing the mellow of my big robot pal?
I have no idea what you just said.
Almanac.
Help! Help! I am still being accosted by 3 individuals. Help!
And because you're very close
You're
to
the one committing assault.
you're very close to
Twice.
Almanac looks at the scene and goes, "Oh, I have just gotten it. It was a safe, but it was not safe. That is a joke. I am fitting in with the local culture. Didn't work."
Artemisia lets go of the old lady's arm just to facepalm.
As you do this, it's marvelous because the tavern door bursts open and knocks over 2 bins, and in combination with that facepalm, you actually get a badum-tsh, which is great. But you know, when you're accosting a little old lady near a tavern in a world where there are D&D quests, you are going to get people trying to save the old lady. So out of this place pours 5 of those royal guards, and they look really pissed. So they are going to come towards you, and I'm afraid you already have to roll me initiative because, like, you handled that
Charlie
so
can't step in and
badly.
try and talk them down.
Charlie was the
can't
only one
step
that
in and try
tried.
and talk them down. Please.
Okay, yeah. Okay, make the persuade roll of your life, or perform, or whatever you're going to do.
Okay, I will
is it
do
a
the
persuade?
roll, and then I'll do like what he says just to kind of see how that goes. Please,
All right, that
please let me
failed.
know.
Oh no.
Artemisia is still utterly convinced that she's in the right because the old lady tried to beat up her robot friend when he didn't do anything, and then they almost got a safe dropped on them, so she's just kind of pissed.
Okay.
All right.
So-
Charlie rolled a 17 for his persuasion, so he kind of just like, okay, drama going on with the old lady, and we've got like these guards coming out. He quickly again steps in between everyone, flashes like the little shiny badge that he pinned to his lapel fast enough at everyone so that they don't actually get a proper look at it. He goes like, all right, everyone calm down, big misunderstanding here. We're part of the Inkwell Happiness Society. We're just doing a bit of a survey, got into a little bit of an altercation. Everything's fine. Just a misunderstanding. Trust me, mate. Trust me, it's all right.
Now, the reaction of this is interesting because for a split second they all look really nervous and look at each other like, oh shit, an official. And then they hear what you're saying about the Happiness Society and they're like, whatever. But you call off the attack. They don't start attacking you, but they all sort of surround you, and the little old lady, meanwhile, is just like ollieing the out, and her little bed is saying, I told you I tore a putty tap, and is pointing at Charlie as they leave around the corner. And yeah, so now you have 5 other people to talk to who are leaning on their various weaponry in a kind of like, we're not going to beat you up yet, but we want to know what your deal is. And one of them, who is a weasel, a Warnerkind weasel at the front, he looks a little bit, you don't want to judge people by appearances, but skeezy is the word that comes to mind immediately. And so he sort of walks up to you and tips up the visor of his oversized helmet and says, so what's going on here, kid? And he's talking to you,
I said
Charlie.
before.
I am conducting a study on Inkwell and the state of things in this country. I would like to conduct a quick survey regarding how you feel about threatening everyone in this town.
Charlie's trying to like wave Almanac down, just going like, shush, let me handle this. I doubt that works.
Artemisia is just sulking. She is leaning against the wall of the tavern and looking sulky.
Yeah, these guards are not particularly impressed, and one of them just starts giggling at Almanac and gets elbowed in the rib really strongly by the very tall ferret next to him. And the weasel sort of narrows his eyes and is looking at you like, "Yous guys ain't from around here, are you?"
Oh, we've been
I have
traveling all
come
around.
a very long way.
We've been traveling like my friend says here. We've been traveling all around Inkwell because so it's not just like happiest place state. Like we're going like all around the country. And we're doing surveys. We're checking people out. We're checking like people's happiness levels. We're asking them what their opinions are on different things. Like my friends here, like my friend said, we're just taking notes on things and seeing how people feel about everything. And like, well, once we're all done, package it all up, write it all up in a report, and take it up to the palace, and like so they know what's going on.
To the palace, huh? And he sort of has absent-mindedly got a little flick knife out, which he appears to be more comfortable with than the short sword at his side, and is kind of like tapping it against his teeth and looking at the others who are kind of like, And they say, "Well, if you report to the palace, we really ought to take you to see our friend Prince Ecom, shouldn't we?" And the other guys are kind of like, yeah, we should. And they are basically going to force march you out of the town along the path where Ecom and all of the others rode off before. Are any of you going to try to resist arrest, effectively?
Touch me and die.
Okay, that's a yes.
She's very upset.
Okay, what about you two, Kai and Uni? What's...
With the role that Charlie has kind of stepped into now, probably better to not resist. But like, if they try and clap him in handcuffs, he's definitely going to be yelling out like threats of like potentially like suing them or something.
Yeah, they're not going to put you in cuffs, but they all have weapons and they are all out. How about you, Almanac? What's your response to this?
Well, if they can get information from the prince himself, that's a pretty good response on the survey, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Okay.
So yeah, Almanac is fine with this.
So basically the only one in contention is Artemisia, so what are you actually doing about this? Are you just, like, protesting verbally, or are you gonna, like...
She said, "Touch me and die," which basically means if any of them attempt to like nudge her or mess with her, she will hit them with her frying pan. She is not willing to be manhandled.
Okay, I'm gonna see if anybody's stupid enough to do that. No, they're not. Okay, fortunately, all of these various weasels, mongooses, ferrets, you know, it's all much of a kind. They are surrounding you and not like really aggressively like poking you with the spear butts or anything, but they are marching you out of town. And as this happens, you hear a door open behind you and say, "Here, wait! What? Okay, this clearly did not go well." And this is Pierre, who has come out of his restaurant on seeing like what has happened, because he could hear the screaming old lady as well, and is like, "Oh shit! If they're like going to say what was happening, I'm gonna get dragged into this." And he goes up to the head weasel and is like, "This was all a misunderstanding. I'm pretty sure that you..." And the weasel to the left has knocked Pierre unconscious with the butt of his spear because he's just like not having it. And so Pierre is KO'd and is chucked over the shoulder of the biggest weasel, and the head weasel is kind of like, "Is anybody else gonna make this difficult?"
Give me the rat.
Things difficult.
Give me the
But
rat.
no, I do not.
Oh, you want the rat? You want the rat. She wants the rat. Okay, and the big guy dumps Pierre on you, but you are expected to carry Pierre instead.
Oh, she shoulders him easily, and then just kind of sneers at the weasels and starts walking ahead of them. Not even in the right direction. She's just walking ahead of them.
Okay, so we have this ragtag parade now of the guards like trying to guide Artemisia in the right direction without touching her, because, you know, she did make that clear. And this is not how, I have to say, this is not how I thought this game was going to go. I had people spotted all over this town in every location that you could have quizzed to get information. This went so badly that we're going straight to Frog Hole Manor. So, I mean, I guess it's a short...
I just love the fact that, like, literally all we did was ask questions.
You asked them really badly. You asked them really
We did like no attacks.
Yeah, I'm amazed too, but here we are. So, yeah, you will walk down the road, and it seems like these people have requisitioned an abandoned old manor house, which is Old Frog Hall Manor. And, yeah, so it turns out the owner of this place is back in jail for going at 90 in a small town zone. How he does that in this world that's, you know, I don't know what the forms of transportation legally are in a D&D world, but hey, he's got a house that's bedecked with trains and aeroplanes, to go figure. Yeah, and there's some guard weasels posted out at the front who dip their banners to the others who come in. Overall, like, it wasn't like a large cohort that was with Ecom. So you've got the 5 that are marching with you, and there are another 5 outside of the front gates. And as you pass through, there aren't actually any others in this long stretch up to the main building, and you enter the main hall. And it's kind of... oh, Kai has had to duck out, so we will just... maybe pause for a second, because I don't want to keep going without them. My bad. And yes, this is all very good. Well, I mean, while we're here and like marching, Almanac and Artemisia might have a conversation.
Yeah. Can I say really quick, because I've been dying to say this for like the past hour, the accent that you give your Eek is very good.
Oh!
And now I feel like a cheap DM who doesn't give any of her
No. That's not fair. No, I mean, yeah, I'll
I'm
take
like,
the
you're
compliment,
doing
but...
so good. Like, the treason line made me literally, like, just, oh my god. And if you don't pay, you're treason or something, and I died.
Oh god, it was beautiful.
Oh, I'm very glad. He's one of the very few voices I can sort of do, and yet I still trip up because I'm English, so it's actually the American part of it that's hard for me.
You're doing great.
Oh dear.
That's all I wanted to say. Okay, sorry.
You're very kind. Yeah, you two characters talk for a sec.
You know...
Oh, actually, I've just thought of something I need to do. So, yeah, you guys talk in character. I will be back in a second.
Okay.
Alrighty.
You know, for such a brain, you do not use wisdom liberally.
I'm not entirely certain what it is that I have done wrong, but it is clear I have made some sort of cultural error.
When someone hits you, you get out of the situation.
May someone please
She
catch
was
my
not
pumpkins
hitting
real
me
quick?
very hard.
What are you gonna do when someone actually hits you for real? Are you just gonna let them turn you into scrap?
Well, no. If someone were hitting me with the true intent to harm, it would be another matter. She was an old lady, and I assumed it was a misunderstanding.
You should
Which
have.
it was, I believe.
You could have at least, like, moved to the side.
Well, I suppose so. But you did get involved rather quickly. Thank you. I did not realize we were friends.
We're not. Well, I can't stand seeing people being taken advantage of when they didn't do anything wrong.
You are a good person. It is lucky that we have met.
Sure. Yeah. Anyway, these guys don't seem on the up and up. So, if any of them hit you, you hit back.
I
Understand?
believe I am able to do that.
Okay. Takes a lot of stress off of my mind. My mellow is back. I feel so much better. Like, you have no idea.
I'm glad. I would not want to harsh your mellow any further.
Did Data give her like a shoulder rub or what? Is this... Sorry, I just got
So
back.
cute.
It's nice.
Just have a good time, you know?
Aw, that's nice.
That was such a sweet
Just having a little
conversation.
chat.
You see the persona card thing, you've leveled up your relationship between each other.
Relationship is now C.
Okay,
Oh, rank 2. Social link go.
Oh my god, those animatics are still so funny to me. I just, goddamn,
So good.
that's so funny. Like, just
Mistake.
still so good. I can't post that map yet. Never mind. Anyway, so yeah, we're basically we have entered the grounds of Frog Hall or Toad Manor, whichever you prefer. The amphibian quarters. Haha. Yeah, so these 5 guards report to the guards there and are saying what's going on. But while they're doing this, you guys are kind of like crawled off to the side and are kind of being ignored. Can you all make some sort of rolls in terms of perceiving what is happening around you?
Yeah, I got real high insight, so.
Oh my god, these rolls!
Oh geez, we're not going well here.
Oh my
God
goodness!
damn it!
Wow!
Oh my god!
Okay.
What is happening?
For the listeners, that was a 5, an 8, and a 7.
Gee whiz, I hope this goes better for you when we inevitably enter combat, because the way things are going... Okay.
Wow.
What I will give you for this, the highest roll was an 8. That's something. Okay, so Charlie, you get the impression that this you're looking at the edifice of the building whilst these people are discussing what to do with you, basically. And you're not really paying much attention because you're like, I might as well ride this ride, even though it's not particularly fun at the moment. And you sort of you get the impression that it lets the wind in, and you're not quite sure why you feel that. But there's broken windows, and maybe you saw a curtain flap. That's basically all. That's all you get. Like that. This is not a sealed up building, and you saw some sort of movement, but it doesn't make an impression on you as it would perhaps otherwise. And yeah, you are transferred from the other weasels to the new weasels, but you now have 6 weasels because the head weasel comes with you. I should have
We've weaseled out of this.
Yeah, you got weaseled into this. So yes, he marches you inside, and basically they turn to you and open a door in front of you, and are like, yeah, so you go sit in there. We will go fetch His Majesty King Prince. Yeah, he's a prince, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. Eakin, that guy. Yeah. Huh.
I'm gonna wait here.
You are not going to wait here, and at this point there are definitely weapons being leveled at you, so you have to go in this room, or you are going to have to roll initiative in this corridor.
Just, she's trying to hold on to her mellow because, again, there are 2 other people here and also an unconscious rat on her shoulder, but she really just wants to, go for it because she cannot stand being treated unfairly. It's not in her wheelhouse, but she just kind of gives him a look that says, "You are so lucky that you have protection here in the form of I can't beat you up while I have other people to deal with." And then she just walks into the room.
That's good. How about your companions? What does Almanac do, for example?
Almanac is we're being ushered into the room with all the like vehicles and stuff, right?
No, you don't know what this room is yet.
Okay. Well, yeah, then Almanac will go in. This whole thing is undeniably shady, but also they don't have enough of an idea of what else to do, so they're just rolling with it.
Okay, and finally, Charlie, what's your game?
Charlie, like this whole time that they've been walking, Charlie has been acting uncomfortable with the fact that there are weapons pointed at them, but otherwise pretty confident that he knows what he's doing. This will be fine. This is just like some bureaucracy that needs sorting out. This is fine. And he's gonna maintain that act as he just like walks right into the room.
Okay, you may stumble a bit because you're all heading downstairs, and it's quite dark in here. So it takes you a second for your eyes to readjust, unless any of you have dark vision.
I have dark vision.
You
I
have
can
dark
see
vision.
perfectly well in darkness.
You can see perfectly well. So Almanac doesn't have an issue in determining the fact that this is a larder. It's a sort of underground pantry lined with thick stone to keep food cold. And it's certainly pretty cool down here, and it certainly is warm as the reception you've received, because the door shuts behind you and you hear a very heavy clunk, shk, and you get the impression that they locked the door behind you, and they haven't given you a light. They haven't told you how long you're going to be in here, and that's all. You are in a dark, underground, pretty well, like, fortified part of this building. Almanac, because you can see.
Yeah, Almanac will, in fact, cast light on their book so that it emits light for everyone to see.
Ah, that's lovely.
Thank you.
What colour is it?
It's just like a bright, brilliant white light.
Ah, that's nice. That's the extremely true colour. And in fact, the light is so bright that Pierre sort of comes to with a sort of, oh,
What? Oh, I don't know what I drank, but if it did this to me, it must have been good. Did I drink something?
No.
Ah, that means I just
Drink
got hit over the
A
head.
can of Whoop-Ass.
that was terrible. I want to give you an inspiration point for that. Please take one. Okay. So yeah, you're in this, now that you can see, I don't have to make anybody do perception rolls at disadvantage, which is always boring. Yeah, so there are shelves with, Pierre's delighted to see, there are some supplies down here. There's cheese, and there is smoked hams, there's something that looks like a metal tin of something, but there's nothing to open it, so that's kind of disappointing. There's some sacks of grain, and you can actually see that part of the east wall is kind of crumbly. Like, this place is going to pot. Like, there is dry rot, there are rotting beams. It's not the good manor house. Like, this has not been kept well, this place. So there are potentially, like, weak points in the walls, but before you can, like, even start investigating anything, you hear psst, psst.
Hello?
Hey,
Almanac will look around.
Yeah? Okay,
Hello?
Like, what are you doing? Like, okay, you're saying hello. Okay, the voice says,
hi, dreadfully sorry, can't actually get in there. Too tall, if that makes sense.
and you see an eyeball, just an eyeball being held through this tiny hole in, like, the broken part of the wall. It's a blue hand and your classic white cartoon eyeball. You can tell at once, even though, like, you can't see the rest of it, that this is a UPAan person. Because no other cartoon can, like, disassemble themselves in quite such a dramatic fashion. And it's like,
Oh, jolly good. You're not dead. That's
Almanac
super.
is scribbling down so many notes right now.
Is this Bertie? Please tell me this is Bertie.
Bertie! So,
Very, very, very quietly. Hush. Now, oh gosh, yes, it's very lovely to meet some people. I have been stuck here for a while. Ha ha. So, well, better just make sure that you're all on the level. Are you all good aligned? Or neutral. Neutral's fine.
Actually, it's a good question. I can't remember what I like. I think Charlie's just chaotic neutral.
Good. It's my favorite.
You know people who are good aligned. Does that count?
Oh, it'll do. What about you? Oh, wow, my goodness, look at the size of that skillet.
And Artemisia just kind of twirls it, like she brandishes it, and then she looks at him and says, "If you're not a weasel, I am."
That's a bit racist, but no, I'm not actually.
And he suddenly sort of goes quiet again because he realised he laughed really loudly just then. So he's,
Oh no, no, I'm a hare. I am a hare. You can't see the rest of me, but well, actually, hang on.
and the eye retreats, and then the hand comes back holding a really long ear, and it's a blue ear, and waves it back and forth, and then it retreats, and the eyeball comes back.
Well, yes, as you see, parts of me are hair-like, so hopefully that will be good enough. Yes, aha. Well, we're in a bit of a pickle here, aren't we? Aha! Pickles! Look, see, because you're in the larder. Aha!
And yes, more laughing ensues, and he sort of is like, oh,
Dash it, I think they heard that. Well, here's the thing. Military intelligence. Bit of a problem to be part of military intelligence. Is my worst stat. But, we were following a lead that, the prince had been spotted in local climates, and I was sent to, check up on the situation, you know, being a representative of the UPA lands, and, well, I found out something I wasn't supposed to. That's not him.
Talk with an old lady.
You talked with an old lady. That's marvelous. I didn't talk to an old lady. I talked to someone I shouldn't have, and then I got hit very badly, and my various parts were put in this room, which is much less interesting than yours. I have to say, goodness, look at that. You actually have 4 walls. Ha! I think I'm in some sort of cupboard. There's a lot of spikes in here. Maybe it's an Iron Maiden. Maybe that. Anyway, yes, so summary is... Oh, dash it, they've come.
and you can hear a door opening and voices, and basically the last thing you hear is,
It's not him!
and then there's nothing.
Believe that would qualify as alarming.
Charlie's gonna stick his own eye to the hole. I mean, obviously he can't take himself apart in the same way that Bertie did, but like he's gonna like try and have a look through the hole, see if he can actually see anything or about what's going on.
Yeah, you see an empty room with the door still open, so you can actually see. And as Bertie said, it's a very small cupboard. It's just like a janitorial cupboard, but the door has like a bunch of locks on it, and you get the feeling like they've had to add more since they put this guy in there. Like he's kept getting out, but they've like kept reinforcing it. But yeah, no, there is now nobody in that room, and you can't even hear where they went.
Right, well, I
Great.
don't think we've got good things in store for us. Just a feeling.
Probably not.
It's a shame. Things have been going so well lately.
What trip
I
have
was
you been
using-
on?
I was using sarcasm. Did I do it correctly?
Oh yeah, I thought that was really good, actually. Can we all talk quieter? My head really hurts.
And Pierre is just sort of wincing, and as he's wincing, he sits down on a sack, and it falls over. And again, like you realize this whole manor house is in pretty poor upkeep, because as the sack falls down, it reveals part of the wall, which doesn't seem very solid.
Can I roll medicine to see if I can do anything about the fact that Pierre has one hell of a goose egg?
You really, really can. I love you for doing that.
I'm like, just because if he has a concussion, that's bad.
It is bad.
I was about to jump in, with like one of my spells, but I realized it might be an idea to save my spell slots.
Yeah, I have a bonus to medicine, and as a cook, it's probably something I can do. Oh, that's moderate.
It's all right. That's moderate. You actually do help his headache quite a lot, and fortunately,
I take out I take out a pair of chopsticks and I jab him in the general like areas that like Artemisia would jab her mom when she has really bad like headaches and back pain. And because Pierre is not the same size as her mom, it only goes moderately well.
That's really good. You're using pressure point acupuncture with chopsticks. I mean, if I hadn't already given you inspiration, like, you would have it now. That's really good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Pierre feels much better and doesn't seem to have lost too many hit points. He just got knocked out. And yeah, so you now have an unstable part of this stone wall, and you still have the gap in which, you know, Bertie's eye came. So, and there is the door. So, jailbreak, anybody?
Jailbreak.
I have fire
I believe
starters.
we should find a way to leave.
Well, we've got an unsturdy wall, and I have a large skillet that I could hit it with. And I've also got a bunch of fire starting stuff in my bag for cooking on the go, so we could just burn the door.
I've got Thunder Wave, so I mean, I reckon your skillet's probably the best idea to start off with. But if we don't mind making a bit of noise,
Fair.
Yes, I'm leaving this to you. I'm leaving this to, like, a group vote as to what you attempt first.
right, Charlie. Charlie's
so-
gonna go like, well, I reckon looking at you two, you could probably manage this yourself, but that doesn't work. I reckon I've got something up my sleeve.
Which direction would you like to go?
Out.
Through that wall?
That seems reasonable. Almanac lifts a hand at the wall and casts Eldritch Blast.
Oh, hell
Oh
yes.
shit.
Whoa! Okay, so this is the loose wall. Do that and tell me what you do to it.
Going to assume I don't need to roll to hit because
No.
it's a wall.
Yes, that's fine. This is the effective. This is the barn door that you're trying to hit. So. Oh my goodness, that's
Well,
a
that
2.
doesn't do much damage.
Well,
But I've got good news. It's a cantrip, so they can cast it as many times as they want.
you can, and it has been quoted as the most powerful cantrip for quite a long time. But with a 2, it's not enough. It's not enough to blast a hole in the wall, for example. But because it's kind of, you know,
Fair.
I like to imagine Eldritch Blasters having something kind of noodly appendagey going on. So you do actually loosen.
It's something like, it's definitely weird looking and hard to look at, but it's the same sort of brilliant white light that they cast on their book. That's just like, it's very pure and white and pretty, but also just sort of difficult to perceive.
Fun. Sideways light. Yeah,
You can
but,
shoot lasers.
Yes. Yes, spooky lasers. So the spooky laser weakens the mortar around the stone, so you hear some more crumbling, and parts of the wall slide a bit. Like, it's like the building is settling a bit, and this is perhaps a clue because you realise that you're still basically subterranean-ish, or you're very low down in the structure of this building, so you do have to be careful, because you're inside, but it's not enough to make a hole in the wall.
Yes, I can shoot lasers. Would you like me to do it some more?
Not. I think that's not a great idea, considering the fact that you shot one laser, didn't do much, except for make the building crumble a little bit. And, Thunderwave, good spell. It'll be loud, and that's a cone of force, I think. I don't know. I don't take magic.
Nah, radius comes out all around me. You guys might have to kind of stand in the corner when I do that.
Yeah, I'm not into that. We have to be careful here, so, like, maybe we shouldn't just make the basement fall on our heads.
You have objects
What you got
that
in
you
mind,
can...
then?
You have objects that you can use. I mean, like, say someone had a large semicircular piece of very strong metal you could use as a support.
No, I already, like, yeah. It's a thing we could do. I'm just like, it's a teenager. I gotta make her snark every 5 seconds.
Okay, fair enough.
It's true.
But
Then, would you like to take the lead on this?
yeah, sure, why not? Nobody else is piping up, and she pulls out her skillet and her oversized like skillet cover, like it's a frying pan cover, and she just moves over to the wall. She looks at it up and down, and then she jams her skillet into it and just uses it like a lever and starts moving dirt as fast as she can. So
Okay.
that's probably strength.
Yeah, that's a strength check. Is anybody doing anything to assist? Because that'll give her like a bonus or rolling an advantage.
I think like as like rubble is kind of coming away from the wall, Charlie's clearing it out of the way.
Yep.
So like the feet are clear and
Okay.
like floor is clear.
That's fine. You get to
Yeah, yeah.
re-roll because you've got at least one person helping you.
Thank you. Man, these rolls have been bad. It's
What is
better,
with these
but
rolls?
God. I have inspiration, so it works.
Okay, you do. At first, it seems like you're in trouble. Like you dig a little bit and it settles a bit, and you're like, ugh. But then you do it a bit faster, and you think like, oh, you've got away with it. You've made a small enough hole, but then you feel like this vibration, and you just shove, like by this sort of instinct, you shove the whole skillet in at this particular strange angle at the top, and it holds. But you can tell it's not going to hold for long. But it works, and you have a tunnel that you can all get out of that leads directly outside, and it seems to be like hidden by some shrubs because inspiration is magic, so you're not even going to have to roll to avoid any guards outside. So I'm going to assume that you all bail.
Like Charlie picks up Pierre as they kind of get out of there because like after a concussion and everything, Pierre might still be a bit wobbly even after healing. So like, okay, probably better to carry the rat.
Yeah, that works very good. Almanac, are you good with this?
Yes, absolutely.
Great, just wanted to make sure. So yes, everybody piles out, and just as you whisk your skillet out of the, well, it's a wok, sorry, Artemisia removes her wok, the wall crumbles and then goes and it makes a really small noise because like all of the stones have kind of settled together, and it almost like suppresses the crash that it would have made if it had been like a whole wall falling over. So the magic of inspiration has saved you all in multiple senses. You are all outside and have not alerted anybody. At the moment, you are sort of you're adjacent to the main wall of the main hall. So there are tall glass windows leading all the way up the outside of this manor house's main hall, and through it you can see strange suspended objects, and you also notice various other places where the wall has subsided. Like there's a couple of holes up in the eaves, but the closest entries are on the ground, and there's one to the south, there's one to the east, and yeah, that's basically all you can see from where you are because you're at a corner of this building.
You know how cowboys do like the thing where they like blow some smoke off their gun and then they slide it stylishly into the holster?
Yes.
That's what she does. Just swing, 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 and then shink, and then she's like, well, that worked. She's preening a little.
Okay, so where you are in respect to this, you're like at that bottom left corner.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so there is a door
Okay.
entryway like to your left up there, and you can see something that might actually the place that you've come out of is right at the bottom. You see that door there? We're going to say that that's the hole that you made and you got out of.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the big scribble in the middle?
That's the biplane that's going to inevitably fall on you because we opened this entire game with it, so you can't avoid that.
Oh no.
Otherwise, we cause a
no.
time
My
paradox.
Oh God. But
I think
Now?
we should stick to the sides of the room.
Just like they're all outside right now, and they've managed to get out of the like basement. And so I think the obvious question is, should we ditch?
That is a question. I hadn't thought that it was possible, but yes, you can if you want.
Just like should we ditch? And then like we're looking at like she specifically looks at Pierre and is like, do you want to go home, man? Because like concussion.
I don't know, I'm actually feeling way better. And what is going on in there? Like, he's looking in at the window. Like, this is a curious rat. Curiosity is a thing that rats have.
I know that. Like,
He's a good
Charlie
rat.
definitely wants to go find that other guy that kind of got taken away. He wants to know what the heck's going on there.
Yeah,
He doesn't like.
well-
He like talked to this guy for all of like 2 minutes, but Charlie already likes him, so.
Almanac was very like, I am very concerned about the dire message that we were being given that was interrupted. It seemed very important.
It isn't him. Who isn't him?
Said he was coming to like investigate like appearances of the prince.
What? So is he saying like the prince isn't the prince, or he is not the prince, or was it somebody else talking in general?
I don't know. I've seen
You
weird
may
things.
recall, if you think back, that the weasel individuals could not recall whether or not the prince was in fact the prince. I would say that this is good data pointing in the direction of the prince not being the prince.
I love Almanac. I just have to say it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, yeah, so you have come to this conclusion, and I have told you that there are big windows looking into this hall, so does anybody want to take a peek?
Let's take a look-see.
Yeah, they all just
Absolutely.
like, you know the cartoon thing where they all slowly like whoop whoop whoop, and their eyes
Yeah.
are just peeking over the edge of the window.
Yes, I
Stacked
absolutely...
over one another.
Absolutely, I know what you mean. And yeah, so you hear sort of chuckling through this glass, which is partially stained. It's very pretty, it's quite tasteful actually. And you can see at the far end, with some difficulty, that there are people talking. There is someone sat in some kind of big chair, you know, as is typical at the end of a long hall. And there is the person that you can see is the lizard type guard with her big halberd, who's standing in a shaft of sunlight, leaning against it, talking to the weasel with a sort of casual ease. And yeah, you can tell even from the back that the weasel is having a good laugh about something. And yeah, that's all you can tell from here.
Before anyone asks, no, I don't know her. Not all reptiles know each other.
I wasn't going to
Wasn't
assume.
gonna ask.
Pierre looks like kind of like, I'm sorry if I gave that impression.
Just because she's had to deal with it enough.
Aw.
Like, because like they're all like, oh, you're a turtle. Do you know every other turtle, including the ones who may or may not be famous and have books written about them? And she's like, no.
Pierre gets that. You see a rat and everyone assumes that he's related.
Mm-hmm. Well, rats do tend to have very large families.
True.
They do. Extensive, really. So,
Does
what you
anyone
do?
know how to lip read?
No.
Well, okay. Is there like, does there look to be an easy way into this into that room?
Window?
I don't know. How about you all investigate?
Okay,
Oh.
because I've got a spell that might be helpful for this,
Ooh,
but also might not.
okay. It's a
I
10.
have such good pluses. Why do I keep rolling so
I
garbage?
don't know. That was
That's
a 10
the
and with a
question
plus.
of this entire thing.
Oh, 17.
I swear I'm the only one,
Oh,
or I'm not
goodness.
the only one that has gotten good rolls this entire game, but like mostly all the halfway decent rolls have been going to me.
Oh, well, anyway, well, I hope that there's claiming that doesn't come back to bite you in the ass, because fate is mean.
Oh, quite
like
probably.
That.
I've cursed
Fortuna
myself now.
is listening.
Knock on wood.
Fortuna is listening. So yeah, 2 of you got a 17, so this is great. You walk around the periphery of this building, which, you know, you could have done, but you actually do. So you realise that there are 2 doors. There's the one at the bottom left that you can see there, which seems to be a kind of like servant's entryway. It doesn't look very grand or anything, but there's another one further round at the, as it were, the north side of this building, which is a sort of double doors, but one of those doors is off its hinges. It's basically hanging from the top set of hinges, so there is a gap underneath that door, and you suspect you could get in without making a noise, but because you rolled a 17, you are also aware that you can sort of see, like, if you're very quiet and you like look under the door, you can see the hem of one of these Royal Guard's robes, so there is someone standing by that door.
Ella's gonna cast invisibility on himself.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's always a fun one.
So Charlie's gonna go invisible, and he's gonna try and like very, very carefully sneak by, like get underneath that door and sneak sneak by it, try and... Alright, he can see the guard is there, he's gonna try and edge around, and maybe if the guard feels anything brushing against his ankle, it's just the wind, there's nobody there. Certainly
let's
not
see.
anyone invisible.
Let's see, you still have to roll for sneaking.
Yep. Oh, I'm actually decent at stealth, and I get advantage on this as well.
Yes, because you're invisible.
I think being invisible, like, gives you an extra plus 10 or something.
Wow.
Yeah, probably. It doesn't actually say on the spell thing.
I'm going to say you have advantage.
Mod it is up to you.
I'm saying you have advantage, so roll twice if you need to. 11, that's not going to cut it.
Yep.
There will be repercussions.
So...
13.
Oh, boy.
Alright, just because...
I guess
Just because it's more interesting.
that was me cursing myself before.
It's more interesting, but so you do sneak through the door and you're quiet, but what happens is you're just getting free of the doorway is your tail touches the guard on his knee, and he looks down for a second, but because you're invisible he doesn't see anything, so he is kind of more suspicious now, so the guard is like more on guard, so if someone else tries to come in that door, it's gonna be tricky.
I cast prestidigitation because I can create an instantaneous harmless sensory effect, such as a puff of wind. So I make a puff of wind come under the door.
Okay, yeah, he's sort of more persuaded that it was nothing by that, but yeah, he's basically been roused out of his slight stupor because of a sensory impact, so he's still definitely there. But Charlie, you are in the building. Does anybody else want to do anything before I continue with Mr. Invisible Bard?
Yes. Wait, Uni, do you want to do something?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Artemisia has a set of I have equipment, and the equipment I have is I have a backpack full of stuff, and there is cooking implements in it, as you would guess, because I do cooking things.
Mm-hmm.
So she pulls out a box of matches,
Okay.
and
Okay.
she strikes one outside the door, being quiet, and then she gently sticks her hand through the hole in the door under that ever-fluttering blue guard robe, and she waits.
Oh my gosh, are you actually...
Oh my god.
Are you serious? I don't even know...
Charlie was trying to be stealthy, but I guess not.
I don't even know what to make anybody roll for this, but yeah, you totally set this guy's butt on fire. Yeah. Actually, I'm just
And then she pulls her hand out really quickly. She waves the match to blow it out, and then you get the cartoon. Something smells really good.
Yeah.
Hey, are we cooking something? Are we cooking something really good? And then Artemisia, you see her on the other side of the wall, and she has 4 fingers, and she's counting on them. 1, 3, 2, 1. Oh, good! And then he starts running around in a big circle.
Yeah, he totally does do that, and it causes such a ruckus that, like, literally everyone in the hall notices that, and there's a few people in the hall. So, but interestingly, Charlie, where are you when this happens? Because I'm gonna say you had, like, a little bit of a head start before this shit happened.
I made a distraction for him.
Thank you. He has gone and edged to the side slightly and kind of flattened himself against a wall, so there's very little chance of anyone kind of running into him.
Okay, but like whereabouts? Like, are you near the middle? Did you try and get closer to the end of the hall where this big chair, this conversation is happening?
Yeah, he tried to get a little bit closer, noticed what was going on, went, oh god, flattened himself against the wall. So call him like halfway down.
Alright, so I'm gonna say, because you're halfway down, you are close enough to see something very odd happen. Because you see 3 people having a conversation. You see the weasel, you see the lizard lady, and you see... You don't even know what to call this, but it's this, and you're gonna love this.
One of them!
One of them!
Wow, a gremlin!
So, yeah, God, like, look at this thing. What?
And so this thing without a face that is, like, basically talking to the other 2, like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I hate that. Now that I can see the legs.
I've got more.
bad.
They're really cool. Credit to Anna Boys.
Weird
Anna
dark,
Buzz for this thing.
this weird dark crystal looking mofo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kind of, oh, jeez. Oh, that is worse.
Why do you have so many pictures?
Because I love it.
That's
and I
worse.
want one. So yeah, you see that, but then this enormous noise happens with the guard going "Ah!" across the back with his tail on fire because, you know, he's also a weasel and weasels have tails. So, and then this thing goes and you are looking at Ecom.
What did I come back to? Oh my god.
Oh, you left the
Welcome
room.
to the horror zone.
Yeah, so Bard snuck in invisibly, saw this thing having a conversation with Lizard Lady and the Weasel Master, was suddenly alerted. These 3 were alerted by a guard having his ass set on fire. And then this thing turned into Ecom and is looking around like, what? Like, no one is saying anything, but all of them are, like, super on their guard and are like, hey, Gary, are you alright? He's like, my house is on fire! So, yeah, he's, like, running around, like, trying to find something to put out his backside and is just flapping about. Because Almanac has just, like, kind of been sitting back this whole time, what do you do?
I mean, oh god. So... Almanac and Artemisia are still, like, outside, right?
Yeah, that's why she lit his ass on fire, and she turns to Almanac, and she gives him, like, a really terrible grin, and she says, other doors unguarded.
Oh. That is one way to open things up, I suppose.
And it was fun.
Noted. Almanac writes that down. It was fun.
Artemisia draws a little smiley face.
Collaborative notes.
Yes.
So are you, like, staying outside, or are you just, like, what?
They're going around. You said there were 2 doors. There's one that's a double door that had the hole in it. That was what Artemisia just used to light this man's ass on fire.
Yeah, he is now nowhere near the door, it has to be noted.
Yeah, he's now nowhere near the door, but there are 2 doors, and you said there was another one that's slightly on the side. Of course, with a big hullabaloo with a man with his ass caught on fire, I'm assuming that everyone is momentarily distracted and or went to go see what the hullabaloo was about. So that means that the other door is less guarded or unguarded, and that was Artemisia's thought process before she set this man on fire.
That's incredible. I mean, I don't even know what to say. And also, like, Pierre is just aghast. he's like by this door with the hole in it, like, what? Why did you? The other guy had this. Like, what's going on?
It worked.
What worked?
And I can't deny.
Also, I didn't like him.
Okay, well that's fair, but anyway, yeah. So what? You're heading around to
Ollie
the.
is heartbroken.
You're going to the other door to get in. After
No,
that.
not Charlie. She didn't like the weasels.
Oh, fair. Okay, that's
Charlie is fine.
After all, a chef must be good at cooking all types of meat.
Even the forbidden kinds.
Okay, come on. We've had an hour and 3/4. Are you going in a door? Which door are you gonna go in?
We're going through the other door.
Get in there.
Okay, you're going to the other door. You try to open the door, and unsurprisingly, it's not open. So what are you gonna do about that? It's locked, but it doesn't like feel like it's triple, double quarantine locked like the one for Bertie.
Artemisia pulls out another match. No, I'm kidding.
I did not realize that Artemisia was such an arsonist.
Yeah. The cooking thing should have given it
No,
away.
I'm just
really.
having fun. But they try the door, and then Artemisia. You said there were a bunch of holes in the walls further up in the building, right?
Yes. How complicated are you going to make this? Oh my god. Anyway, carry on.
Artemisia, she says, "Hold still, Alma," and then she like scales him and uses him as like a perch so that she can parkour onto the roof of the little inlet on the map. And then she heads for a hole and she drops down inside.
There's a lot of rolls you're gonna have to do for that, but can I just quickly recap what's just happened? We had someone invisibly sneak into the building.
When you have a monk on the team. Monks are bananas.
You had an entryway and a person went in invisibly. You set a guard on fire from that entryway, which is now clear of the guard. You then went to the other door and realized it's locked. And the first thing that you attempt to do on realizing this is not open the door, but scale the building to enter it from a hole up a sheer wall. Okay, please roll me athletics, I think, for climbing or acrobatics.
All right, come on, D&D gods, smile at me.
Holy shit.
I want this to work so bad.
Okay.
Damn it!
Okay, what I'm gonna say is because you caused such ruckus, they don't even hear you like miss a footfall and like have to grab onto the ivy and nearly put your boot through the window, but somehow they don't notice because you caused such a mess. And you basically you don't get in yet, but you're on your way and very close to one of these open holes up near the eaves of this building. Almanac, please tell me what you're going to do and make it sane.
I get to be the crazy one. This is so nice. It's such a change of pace.
I suddenly know what Griffin feels like.
Almanac is going to go back to the other door and open it.
Good.
Welcome to the Big Bass Challenge, Maud.
Oh my god. Okay, Almanac, how are you going to open this door?
The door is open.
Oh,
so they open it.
The open door. Like, yeah, you do the normal, sensible thing, and you walk in the door. So yeah, I am still gonna make you like. Are you trying to sneak in, or are you just walking in?
You know what? They're just gonna walk in.
I had a feeling. So all of this shit happens. Note that the first person is invisible. The second person who actually set the guard on fire is up a wall outside still. And this robot dude walks in, and everybody in the hall turns to him and says, "Why did you set that guard on fire?" And they all draw their weapons. And I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna
Almanac replies, please let me. Hello, we are conducting a survey on the state of things in Icon. Would you like to share our findings? It seems that your contributions have been unsatisfactory. And they are going fucking light this place up.
Okay.
Oh, this is
It
amazing.
is.
As you're saying this, as you're saying this, like everyone is looking at you, just like amazed, like at the audacity. Like there's almost a sort of air of they're impressed by this, and then you feel this sort of tongue, 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 and then the whole of that door that was like on its hinges, that the whole thing falls off. But it hasn't been like blasted off. It's just like someone's pushed it and it's fallen off. And behind you comes in this huge, mountainous form of a man with a baby's face perched way at the top of it. And in his hand, he is holding Pierre, like entirely in just one hand, because this guy is so big. And Pierre's kind of doing the squint with the googly eyes slightly. Like he's not being strangled, he's just being held a little too tiny. And this huge guy says, "Oh, did I miss anything?"
Oh my god.
I
At
was
that
just
point,
about to tell the people the results of my thesis study, and Almanac casts Guiding Bolt.
oh my gosh, okay.
God, I love that.
Okay, you get the surprise round. Who's getting
Yeah.
Who's getting it?
They're gonna cast it on Big Fella, who just
Big
came in.
fella. Aw, poor big baby boo. Okay, yes. By the way, this guy's name is Doofus. So,
Aw, doofus.
yeah.
Okay, so that's. Please hit.
Oh, that hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Awesome.
I mean, it meets his AC. But,
Okay.
yeah.
So I've got great news.
Mhm.
It does 5d6 damage.
It does.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's a really good spell. One of my faves.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
Hey, man, that's
What's with the
still
rolls
9.
today?
I don't know.
We're cursed.
You never know. So Doofus says, "Oh," and he's glowing with this radiant light, which gives everybody else advantage at the moment. But yeah, I'm gonna say that at this point we have to roll initiative. Artemisia, you're still on the roof, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. And Charlie, you're invisible.
Oh, she goes in. She goes in through one of the holes that she was aiming for. Can
Okay.
she do that now?
Yeah, sure. But you're basically perched like way up there, so if you want to make a physical hit on someone, that's going to be an issue. But let's all
Yeah,
roll
no,
initiative.
Jump and belly flop on them. You're a turtle. You have a shell. You can withstand this.
Yeah,
Fall
she.
damage.
Again, it's not like she's a ninja or anything, but like she's got some martial arts skills. So I'm gonna have to roll a d20 for this to get my initiative roll. But oh God, which one is which? Oh, mine is the 10.
Yeah.
There's so many 10s here, I don't know what's going on. Okay. Who got the 18? That's impressive. Oh, that was me.
Apparently you.
Oh, you're gonna love that. Okay, and we've got
Like, should
Doofus.
I don't even know if I should roll
Oh my God.
Charlie's like freaking initiative roll here, because I don't know if he wants to join in the fight or not.
Just roll it to help keep track of things, even if he's not going to get involved
Yeah, I
in
think
the
so.
fight.
Yeah. Oof, that's not gonna happen for a long time.
Okay, Charlie's with 20.
Nice job, Charlie.
Nice.
He's the only functioning member here.
Yeah.
Has it set someone on fire.
Okay.
I love you two. You're so chaotic. It's great. I'm the one actually playing a chaotic character. It's just
You've
going
been
on?
out chaotic.
Okay, so Uni, you're the one who rolled a
This
3,
is what
right?
you get with a true. Yeah, this is what you get with a true neutral character. You think the chaotic ones are the one to watch? No. With neutral, you never know what's coming.
Very
Yeah.
true.
We've
very
got a true neutral good, and whatever the hell Charlie is.
chaotic good.
Yep.
Impressive.
Oh.
Okay,
We
so
got two goods and a newt.
okay, so before we get too distracted, the order is, as far as I understand it, please correct me if I'm wrong, Charlie, then Doofus, then Ekim, then Artemisia, then Weasel, and then we have... Oh no, it's not a Weasel, it's the Lizard Guard. And then it's Almanac, and then it's a Weasel. Is that right?
Maybe we should write that down.
That's what I'm doing right now. I just wanted to make sure it was right before I wrote it down.
Okay.
Right before I'm writing it
They
down.
ask what Pierre is doing throughout all of this.
Yeah, Pierre at the moment is being held in the hand of Doofus, who you just attacked. So, Pierre is effectively an NPC, and a peaceful NPC. As you will remember from the beginning, he's a chef. So, yeah, that's literally what he is. He is a chef.
He should be good with knives then.
Yeah, he's, like, a peaceful dude, and he didn't bring one with him. No, at the moment...
Charlie's got spare.
At the moment, literally,
But no,
he
continue.
is effectively a hostage, but I don't think Doofus is smart enough to realise that, so, you got a situation there. But first of all, before anything else happens, Charlie, you're still invisible, and it is effectively your first go. You don't have to attack, I have to remind you, but it's your go.
Yeah. Okay, like he can't attack and he can't cast any spells because that will break invisibility. Oh gods, he doesn't know what to do because because the thing is, he's just watching this chaos unfold and going, "This was not the plan. I know we never actually made a plan, but this was not the plan." Also, the other two don't know about Eek yet, do they?
No, you're the only one that witnessed that. You've already guessed, but
Charlie's-
you haven't seen.
Yeah, Charlie is going to use his invisibility to just kind of like sneak over behind sorry, complete blank on name. Almanac. And just kind of tell them that like, hey, Eek, that's not really like we were right. That's not really Eek. It's some sort of weird shapeshifter, fuzzy white, really weird creature.
Thank you for your research. I will put this into account.
Okay.
What a good boy. Or
Is that all that Charlie's
robot?
doing? Or...
Yeah, and I think, ooh, can I use bardic inspiration, seeing it's a bonus action rather than an outright spell, and not break my invisibility?
I'm gonna say yes because it's speaking and you're not like attacking anybody, and I'm nice. So yeah, sure,
Thank you.
that's fine.
In that case, I'm going to I'll cast bardic inspiration on Almanac and just go like, all right, yeah, great work, buddy. Pat Almanac on the back, and then kind of try and move away to somewhere out of the way again, so I hopefully don't get hit by like a rogue axe or something.
Hey.
Okay, so next in the order is Doofus, who you just attacked. My poor sweet baby child, and he's very upset about this and confused. And it's really obvious who did it because he's literally like right up in your grill. Like he came into the doorway right behind Almanac, and he says, "Oh, I got an owie. Can somebody tell me who these people are?" And what he's actually going to do is, in game terms, he's going to grapple you, Almanac. But what he's basically trying to do is like hoik you up as he has done with Pierre and like hold you by whatever constitutes the back of your neck. So he's basically just like asking his leaders what he is supposed to do. So I'm going to roll this, which is terrible. Okay, yeah, he doesn't grapple you for whatever reason, like either he can't get a hold of you, you duck, or like he just
You don't have a neck, so he just doesn't have anything to grab me by.
That would explain it. He goes to like pick you up like a dog, you know, like by the scruff of the neck, and has overestimated how much neck you have, which is absolutely none. So that's his turn, and the next person in the order is Eekim. And Eekim is looking around, and he doesn't have the same big, jolly, and slightly nervous expression that he was wielding out in the crowd before. He looks suspicious, and he's like got a sort of quiet feeling about him, like he's still figuring out what's going on. And he says, "Oh, well, isn't that something?" And he disappears.
Well, that's promising.
Artemisia, it's your turn.
Hell yeah. She's up. Basically, she's up, clinging to the wall. She's already gone through one of the holes. She is in the rafters around all of the machines and planes and things that have been tied up to the ceiling. So she considers what to do next and how many people are out on the floor. And she notices that Almanac she can see clearly. She can't see Charlie, but he probably just went somewhere else. It's fine. Don't think about it. And she pulls out of her bag something that has like skull and crossbones, but the skull is like a spicy pepper. And she tips it back and upends the entire thing into her mouth, and then she leaps to the ground below and uses her green breath weapon, which is a 15-foot cone of 2d6 poison damage.
Awesome.
That's extremely
So
impressive.
basically just
Okay.
and she blows it all around, and you're gonna get poisoned, boys.
Yeah, you've got to like focus on where you're attacking, because like you just said a mouthful, honey, and I've got to play you by the
No, I
rules.
got it.
Who are you aiming at?
Specifically, she's aiming at the big lizard guard with the halberd, and whoever might be around her.
Yeah, okay, so you're aiming at the the right-hand side of that diagram. So you have got visible, the people that you can see are the lizard kind with the halberd and the head weasel with his flick knife.
Yes.
Incidentally, the guard whose ass was set on fire, he's on the bottom left corner. Like, he ran straight across from that door and sat in a pile of rubble until his butt was put out. I have put that he has taken a 1 damage just because, like, that's fair. I feel that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so those two... What do I have to do? Do I have to roll dex or...
You have to roll a Constitution check.
Ooh, fun. Okay.
Yeah, you have to beat a 12 Constitution check, and then you only take half damage on a success if you beat that. But otherwise, I get to do 2d6 poison damage, and you have to take all of it.
Okay. Well, I'll get back to you on that. But in fact, the lizard lady rolled a 20, so she's good anyway. But she also has resistance to poison.
Yeah, so she only gets like a fourth of the damage of whatever.
Okay. And Weasel McGee does not... He does not manage to not die, as it were.
It's a dex roll.
Why would this matter for Almanac? He's a robot, or they're a robot.
If they're in range, then it still counts. But I don't know if he's like.
I get.
Okay,
I still
so
want to know whether or not it's an issue.
Yeah, I don't know if you're in range. Yeah.
Oh God.
Sorry,
but
that's...
so lizard lady
Yeah.
takes, God, I would say like 1.5 damage. That's 1/4 of 7.
Yeah,
But,
I'll give her 2. I'll be nice. I'll give her 2 damage for you.
Okay, and the other dude takes 7 points of damage.
Oof.
He cannot handle the spice.
Yeah, he don't like spicy food, and he suddenly looks a lot less smug and a lot more green. So, I mean, the color scheme suits him, gotta say. But yeah, he doesn't look too great. Okay, I'm guessing that's the end of your turn. Yes.
I do get bonus actions
Oh, yeah,
if
sure.
I want. So
Sure.
can I? I'm a monk. This is the one thing I get to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a monk. The one thing I get to do is bonus actions. Can I do an unarmed strike on the green boy?
Yeah,
The
on
green weasel
McGee.
man?
On Weasel McGee, you
Yeah,
can. Sure.
yeah. So my hit DC is +4, so D20 +4. Yeah.
Yeah, you beat that AC, you sure do.
+2. I punch him.
Yeah, you
In the
punch him.
nose.
You punch him real good. In fact, you punch him so hard he falls over and he does not get up again. You have KO'd the weasel.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he was not very strong. However, I will remind you that there are other weasels around, and you're making a hell of a noise in here. But that's not going to be an issue just yet. Right now, it is Lizard Lady's turn, I think, unless you've got more bonus actions.
Yeah, I don't want to spend a key point because, like, I do flurry of blows if I wanted to spend a key point, but I'll save that for later and just have her just sort of turn around and be like, bring it, Lizard Lady, bring it.
Okay, she's going to bring that. So she's going to swing at you with her big old halberd there, buddy. So that's that. Oh, she misses! It's a swing and a miss. However, she can do another smaller attack. So she is going to try and hit you with the butt of the spear, basically. And that doesn't manage to do it either. You are a monk. You have, you know kung fu, in fact. And you managed to avoid both of those attacks very successfully. And she looks really annoyed. She looks really annoyed by this. And then it's Almanac.
Artemisia yawns pointedly just to tick her off.
Oh, mean. Okay, Uni, it's your go, buddy. You there? Yes? Have we lost Uni?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I got distracted.
It's fine.
Okay, so Almanac is right next to Big Fella.
Mm-hmm.
They will lay a hand on him and say, "Please let my friend go," and they will cast Shocking Grasp.
Ooh. Okay. I'm just gonna ask a question before you do this. Does that affect, like, anybody that Doofus is touching? Because he still has hold of Pierre.
I don't think it does. I think it's just the person I'm touching.
Okay.
Well, how meaty is Doofus?
Doofus is a big meaty boy.
Then I'd say that Pierre is pretty well insulated
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
by Doofus meat.
Proceed with your shocking grasp. I just wanted to be fair.
So D20 plus 4. Boop. Yeah.
Oh yeah, honey, that gets it.
All right.
Zippy zap.
And
Incidentally, you would have had advantage anyway because he's wearing metal armor. So, oh yeah. That,
he is. Yeah.
Yep. You get the good old-fashioned sound effect with a cartoon skeleton on the inside, and somehow, perhaps just because he's just such a comely lad, Pierre is insulated from the shock, and he's wearing leather gloves, so yeah, and Doofus now looks like he's about to cry. He's just, like, really upset and doesn't understand why you're being so mean. But it's not Doofus's turn.
They clearly stated their terms. Let their friend go.
Okay.
Not strangle their
Give him
buddy.
time to respond. Okay, so now it is Weasel McPants on Fire, who's called Gary. So Gary is like, "Hey! Don't be mean to Doofus!" And he is going to lob his spear directly across the room at you, Almanac. Okay, I've got to chuck that to hit you. That's +2. 11?
Doesn't quite do it.
No! Okay, so it goes ting off your metal body and lodges itself in the crumbling plaster wall next to you. And whoever that is, I hope their cough gets better soon. That sounds nasty. But yeah, the weasel looks kind of deflated and also is kind of like, shit, I threw my spear away. I now only have my short sword. So yeah, that's the weasel's turn. Done. Charlie, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm thinking, how many are left now?
There's You mean in terms of the bad guys? So we have got Doofus, who is still standing. Ecom is, like, disappeared. You have no idea where this false Ecom has gone. There's Lizard Lady with a big halberd. And, there's Gary.
Okay, that's still... Alright, that's still... Like, are they all... Alright. Is there any way for me to kind of get up into the rafters? Because what I want to do is cut down one of, like, the various vehicles that are strung up there and drop them on people.
That's a great idea. You are invisible, so I don't see any reason why anybody would try and stop you because they've no idea that you're there. Make an athletics roll.
Alright,
because you can see throughout this hall, in fact, if you look at the diagram, there's these 6 massive pillars upholding the main roof, so you can climb up one of those.
Yeah, so I should alright, please let's be a good roll.
Yes, sorry, I was distracted looking at my character sheets for a second. Yeah, 15 is fine. You have scaled the rafter. I'm not sure, because, like, I think that would take up, like, your entire movement, getting up there, because it's quite tall.
That's fair. That's all of my movement. But, like, can I go and maybe, like, pull out my knife and start cutting at some of these ropes now?
Oh, for sure. But basically what I meant by that is, depending where you are in the room, you have to stay there in the room. So you're cutting something down near Doofus, are you, or...
I'm gonna say, like, when I kind of, because, like, I haven't moved since I passed Almanac on the back and kind of shifted away, so I probably hid behind, like, one of the pillars to make sure I wouldn't get hit by anything. I've climbed up that pillar, so yeah, I'm just in the middle of things, I guess.
Okay, that's fine. Now it's Doofus's turn, I believe, and unless you've got any bonuses you want to use, Charlie.
Let me double check. Can I'm gonna cast Bardic Inspiration on myself, because I suspect at some point I'm going to need it.
Yep, always a good idea. That's perfectly right.
Giving yourself a pep talk.
Yep.
Exactly.
You
can
come on,
do it,
Charlie.
You can do this.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good.
That's great. So now it's Doofus's turn, who is just so upset about everything, and is also kind of, like, disheartened that his weasel friend's spear attack didn't work. He's like, oh, never mind, Gary. I appreciate the effort. And Gary looks a bit more cheered up by this. But Doofus is still holding on to Pierre and just looks down at you, Almanac, and says, you're mean! And he pulls out a wooden cudgel, which is, like, you know, a cudgel, according to his hand, to anybody else's, it's a great club. He's gonna swing it at you, and you're really close to him. So, like, I hope... Oh my goodness! This is the game of terrible rolls! That club, like, comes down and just straight misses you. Yeah, it just comes like, whoop,
is the person that's coughing okay?
Yeah,
that's my brother, sorry.
Oh my goodness.
He's had the
Is he
flu.
alright? Does he need some water or something?
He's had the flu. He's been drinking lots of water. He's been taking lots of the recommended amount of Tamiflu. He's been getting lots of rest. It's just the cough isn't leaving him alone. So I am so sorry. I
know how that is.
I didn't want to say anything because he was sitting out in the living room just chilling, and I didn't want him to feel bad. So I'm just like, oh God, I'm so sorry you have the flu, man.
Oh,
No,
it's okay. It's okay. I'm just like checking that he's all right.
Yeah.
He's okay.
It sounds bad enough we
He's
might
doing
catch
good.
it. Like, yeesh. Anyway, okay. So yeah, Doofus effectively destroys part of the floor. And this causes a sort of room-wide vibration. But yeah, you are completely safe from it. But he actually, as a response to this, he's, like, kind of embarrassed as well as upset now. So he sort of runs blubbing up the middle towards where Ecom had been stuck. Prince Ecom, they're being really mean to me. And boom, 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 boom. And so he uses the rest of his movement to go to the other side of the room. And Prince Ecom is not there. although the guard still is, as is the green, not corpse, but like extremely flattened body of the main weasel. Where Ekim is a point of interest, because, yeah, you hear a voice saying,
Fellas, I think we'd better put a pin in this.
and you see something appearing from the far main door, because apparently he'd left and has come back with something, and the something is a rather sad pile of colours and lines in a sort of net bag. And you get the impression that it was trying to make an effort to get out of it, but it's just so messed up that it can't do anything. And yeah, Bertie Boy is in a bag, and I don't know if you know what potted hair is, but he looks like he's on the verge of being made into it. And yeah, Ekim is there, and he's holding a very sizable knife to what might be estimated to be a throat, but you're not even sure. Like, it could be an ankle at this point. Like, it's like Bertie has literally gone to pieces, and he says, "Sorry, chaps, got a bit tied up in something."
Looks like a bag.
Oh,
Yeah, so you really do have a hostage situation now. You have two. You have two, but one's too dim to really realize this.
Okay. Like, whose turn in the order is it right now? Gosh.
Well, right now, speaking is a free action, so I'm going to let you guys, like, figure out what you individually would do in this situation.
Okay.
Noting that no one knows that
God.
Charlie's up in the rafters yet.
Yeah. So, like, does anybody have any ideas? Because my brain isn't working right now.
Considering Charlie's like angle and everything, he obviously can't shout out to other people because then they'll know where he is, and the whole point of being invisible is that so he can get the drop on someone. And I'm wondering, like, is it worth literally getting the drop on the false Ecom and just jumping on his head?
sorry, baby.
Oh, doggo. Bootsy.
Okay.
Sorry. She's sleeping on the couch next to me, and I think I woke her up a little.
Aww.
She's a good baby.
That's okay.
Oh, baby.
I like Bootsy.
He's a sleepy baby.
What a good dog. Anyway, we were doing a
Anyway. Yes, we were in the middle of a tense hostage situation.
Dogs can diffuse any situation.
Unless they're a bomb. The dog is a bomb.
Yes, no, I got it. But yeah, situation. Proceed.
Proceed.
Proceed? There's not much else to do.
Well, I mean, like, okay, so the active members, effectively, are Artemisia and Almanac. You basically have to decide whether you're going to act submissively and listen to what Ecom has to say, or if you're going to keep fighting and put two people at risk.
Okay, so, God, Artemisia's first instincts for this is just, there's a person in danger and they don't deserve what's coming to them, so she's got to figure out something. Like, ideally she would use, like, one of her darts to just, freaking get fake Ecom, anywhere on his body to make him drop the bag. But, like, he might see her pull out a dart and try to chuck it at him, so, like, that's questionable at best.
Yeah,
so,
and his knife is, like, all up in Bertie's business, even though you can't quite determine what the business is.
So she's not putting down her weapons or anything, but she is watching.
Okay.
With her monk eyes.
Okay, so we have a standoff from your opinion. Okay, Almanac, what are you doing in this situation?
Yeah, Almanac is more or less of the opinion is like, well, you're dealing with a spellcaster and a monk. It's not exactly like we can drop our weapons. So
It's like, you are your weapons.
My body is a weapon.
precisely. And so Almanac is just like, her head kind of quirks to the side and is just like, what is your play here?
God, I love that.
Okay, right, well, okay, so Ecom, like,
Do
registers.
you feel lucky, punk?
Ecom, like, registers this behavior and takes it as a sort of, like, permission to continue to talk. And he's like,
Thank you for listening to me before you do anything that everyone will regret. If you could both just stand in the middle where we can all see you.
and as he says this, some more people arrive. So someone is coming in at both of those doors, so you have another weasel guard at both the far left and upper doors, and another two accompany him in from the door that he entered by the right-hand side of that diagram. So yeah, he's basically wanting you to sit yourself right underneath that biplane. You know, the plane that started the entire game, which I do have to somehow manage to drop on all of you, otherwise we will call it a rift in the space-time continuum, and nobody wants that.
It'll be the first time.
Oh my god. Why is there a hostage situation? To preserve the space-time continuum.
You see, now you're getting it. But yeah, so will you oblige by doing that?
I kind of want to see what happens if we break continuity.
Mod will
I
cry.
didn't want to do it, but
Mod expected this whole thing to go
Alright.
very differently.
Welcome to being a DM.
Yeah. I came up with
I'm
so
sorry
many
I decided
scenarios.
to go invisible and hide in the rafters.
Yeah. I came up with a lot of scenarios that this could follow, and it's been interesting, so... But anyway, yeah, Charlie, you're exempt from this because even Ecom is not aware that you are up there at the moment. However, it does explain the weakening of the chandelier situation up there beforehand, so that's also helpful, thanks. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that you guys go into the center of the room because, like, you are at a like massive tactical disadvantage right now, and there is no problem in actually going and doing that because otherwise they will just kill you. So yeah, you do that, and I am now going to see what Charlie does because I really don't know what's going to happen now.
I think, and as you are the DM, you get every choice to just make all of this fail for the sake of
I don't like doing that.
making continuity. But cause, like, Charlie is going to literally just step off the rafters and try to land on Eek in an attempt to kind of either knock him out or at least get him to the floor long enough for Bertie to get Bertie out of the bag.
Yeah,
so
I
you're
love that.
jumping on a knife.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, you're jumping onto a guy who's holding a knife to a person in a bag, but if you want to do that, I'm not going to stop you.
I mean,
Also remember, Charlie cast inspiration on himself.
Oh
That's
no,
true.
that's fair.
That's true.
Charlie has bardic inspiration, and also Charlie also has a knife. So let's see
Yeah.
which knife wins.
Okay, you brought a knife.
Knife versus knife.
At all.
You brought a knife to
What
a
do I
knife
roll
fight.
for this?
I'm gonna say acrobatics
Rock, paper,
because it's-
scissors, knife.
I'm gonna say acrobatics to try and like aim to land on him, and then we'll roll the attack stuff.
Okay, well, acrobatics is this, and let's see if I'll need the bardic inspiration for it.
Woo-hoo!
I don't think I'll need the bardic inspiration for a 22.
Okay, so yeah, you dive bomb Ecom, who sort of starts to say something in Scrawlix but doesn't finish, and because that was so good, like his reflex is to let go of the bag and raise the knife. So Bertie has been dropped, which is great.
Right.
So yeah, are you gonna like try and stick him?
Yeah, Charlie's just like kind of drop down, claws out, knife out. He's gonna try and like stab Ecom, or at least like do something useful there, please.
Time to just stab him.
Yeah, you stab
Let's
him.
just try and stab a kid.
You stab him, but good.
Stab
Prince.
Mickey Mouse. Stab Mickey Mouse.
All right.
No, don't say that.
No, Mickey, that's trademarked.
That's
It's
trademarked.
Ecom Jizznap.
I'm gonna have to delete that part of the audio. I'm just kidding. I will do no such thing.
Yeah.
Yay.
It's a 15 hit.
Yeah, absolutely it hits. Yeah.
Stab him.
Bruh. Okay, and that's 1d4. That's 5 damage.
Yeah,
Plus,
Ecom
plus, you know,
says,
like a decent-sized cat landing on top of a mouse.
yeah, interesting you should
I
say
didn't
that.
even see that.
Interesting you should
That's
say that
good.
because the noise that comes out of this mouse does not sound like a mouse. It goes and yeah, it's gonna swing straight back at you, and that's going to be. I mean, you're like right up on each other's grill, huh? So yeah, that's probably gonna get you.
Ooh, that hits. That hits.
That's gonna get you. So that's also interestingly not quite as good as yours. Yeah, he gets you in return.
Jab,
Okay,
jab.
cool.
Okay, so we now have like a mess. We have like a cat and mouse situation, a hare in a basket, a lizard lady who looks incredibly like, what is going on? And 4 new weasel guards who are all just like, what is going on? And Doofus, who is basically like, oh no, Prince Mickey, let me help you. And he drops Pierre.
Him.
Yes, he drops Pierre next
Have to be hard ass about this.
No, that's good. Thank you for reminding me. Drops Pierre
I
next
don't want
to
anyone to get sued.
drops Pierre next to Artemisia and Almanac, and is basically going to try and separate this cat and mouse situation. And he basically thought that Charlie made that horrible noise. So actually, while he's like trying to do this grapple, like Almanac, you seem like the type to make an insight check.
Yes, I will.
I have a +4 to insight.
Yeah, sure, both of you.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you're all
Nice.
about it.
Of
Dear.
course not.
Oh,
Of course not.
Why is
Why would
Almanac
I
Falls
ever?
cursed?
no, this is
So over this.
Almanac. I think
It's
Almanac.
okay if they put their collective brains together. They're very smart.
Yeah, I think Almanac is just
Yeah,
taking everything.
basically.
He's taking everything. They are taking everything so literally right now that they're just like, oh, okay, this is happening. But yeah, Artemisia, you realize, and you know, you may have even realized before now, but Doofus really thinks that that is Prince Ecom.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know, because your role
I
was so
think-
good, it now brings into question how many other people in this room really think that that's Prince Ecom. You don't know that, but you know that sort of ping light bulb moment has made this whole concept available to you.
Yeah. So she leans over to Almanac and she says, Doofus thinks that's really like Ecom. And I don't think that's Ecom, considering that he just let out a noise like a cat in heat.
Also, previous evidence has pretty clearly indicated that that was the case. But good job.
Look, I didn't put my points into intelligence, I put them into wisdom. Now shush.
Also, to be fair, Charlie told Almanac for certain that was a shapeshifter and not actually the prince.
Oh yeah,
Never
yeah.
actually got the chance
No,
to
they've got
tell
that.
Artemisia.
Yeah. So she's just been going on instinct this whole time, which is pretty decent, but like she didn't know for sure. Thank you for sassing her, you mean robot. But she then leans over a little bit more and she says, if you can make some noise, I can go get our friend in the bag without letting anybody see that's what I'm doing.
While this is happening, you may have noticed that I rolled a 22. So that 22 was Doofus succeeding in separating Prince Ecom from this mad cat who has clearly just come to be like horrible and has appeared out of thin air. Like, how did that happen? Wow. So he throws the magic cat to land with everybody else underneath the biplane. Hooray! Yay!
Yay!
My
Continuity
scene-
restored!
My scene plays out. You remember the whole thing. Ekum points his sword. It's very dramatic. And then the lizard lady chops the chain. And the biplane starts falling on you. Everybody roll a dex saving. I'm so glad I got that
I've
to
actually
work.
done that, thank you.
Finally!
Oh,
Jesus
yeah, there's
Christ.
the good roll.
Oh no!
Oh, no! I told you not to be
My luck
smug.
ran out, I got a crit fail.
I told you not to be smug about the fact that you'd been rolling well, but here we are. It's the
I've been
Gladstone
waiting
rule.
this whole freaking time to try and roll an action, but we haven't managed to do that yet. So I was gonna be like, hey, can I use my move to dash to move very fast away from where I'm sitting? And I was not allowed to do that. So I'm just gonna sit here and embrace death as it plunges to my turtle.
Well, what I will add to both you and Kai is that you both have bardic inspiration, if you remember, I think. Or is it Almanac that has
Kai
that?
has bardic
yeah.
inspiration.
Oh,
I have bardic inspiration. I rolled a crit fail. There's nothing I can do to fix
oh
that.
really? You're not allowed?
It's also Almanac.
Yeah.
Like Almanac
they
has
got-
bardic inspiration.
They got the
Oh,
bardic
sweet, yeah.
inspiration. My bad. Okay, yeah, you both end up with a biplane on you. Oh no. I mean,
Ow.
yeah, I mean, if you'd got a 12 or above, you would have been fine. But I'm really sorry. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
like,
that's bull honk. I
I'm
got an 11. I'm so mad.
No.
okay. Well, I'm leaving your fate in the hands of the gods because it's a plane and it's also kind of on fire. So I think 1d10 is fair.
How the hell is it on fire?
It's got candles on it. It's a chandelier.
Oh, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going great, but I'm still alive.
Okay. The
Uh,
I hate to say
20
this. I hate to say this, Kai, but because you did a crit fail, you're stuck.
Oh god.
You're stuck under the plane. So
Oh,
you
no.
you have to roll strength to escape or have someone help you escape. But you don't take any more damage. Like you don't take double damage, which I could have done, which would have been horrible. But yeah, you both take 9.
Pretty sure that would have killed him.
And I'm gonna say like everything.
Not quite. I would have had 2 health points left, but no, I'm for now I'm okay.
And to be extra nice, I'm going to say that initiative resumes in the same order, starting with Charlie, because you know, I can't be bothered rolling initiative again.
Yep, that's entirely fair.
We have too many weasels for that.
Yeah, we have too many
We
weasels
have
for
to
that.
pop them somehow.
I do.
Right, let's try.
We have to
And
pop
shove
the
this-
weasels. Yeah!
Rolls back.
Okay, yeah.
Masterful.
Charlie, you
It's
go
a
like
dirty 20. Way to go, Kai.
you go full Hulk and like
I do not
get out of
control the die. I'm sorry.
And I'll tell you another reason why I would have given you advantage on that anyway, is because you have a little blue, grey, furry friend who helps to lift the plane off you.
Oh,
And
thank
Pierre,
you, not Remy.
Pierre looks at you and says, "Hey, it's no problem," and faints.
Oh, buddy.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I
he
can't believe he's freaking dead.
Nah, he's at 1 hit point though.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
Okay,
I'm guessing I just used my turn to get the plane off me. I can't cast any healing spells. God damn.
No, but yeah, you can cast bardic inspiration on someone if you want to.
Yeah, like Artemisia, you haven't had a go with bardic inspiration yet. Have some bardic inspiration.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I'm bardically inspired.
you are, and
I
it's-
realize I should probably say something in character like that to inspire you, but right now I am half
They
asleep
ju-
and very much in need of breakfast.
It's
So-
fine. I'm sorry.
They just share like a meaningful look, and they both do that little like nod
Yeah,
thing.
that's
And
cute.
then that's all the words that needed to be said.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. I will try and wrap this up within half an hour.
It's okay.
And yeah, it is now Doofus's turn. And what Doofus does is he doesn't do anything because he's really confused about what's happening because Ecom hold it. He sort of realizes that Ecom stabbed someone, which is weird, and also like is looking at Bertie and is like, that's kind of messed up. So Doofus passes on his turn because the single brain cell that is chugging around in that tiny head has started to think for the first time in its life. So this is a very special moment for everybody. Everybody, a round of applause for Doofus's brain cell. Yay. However, the bad news is that it's Ecom's turn, and the bad news is that he disappears again.
Oh dear.
God dang it.
So
You gotta get one of those, like, baby leashes. One of those child leashes.
Yep. Artie, it's your turn.
Did you say me?
Yeah, Artemisia. I was just trying to be cute.
No, I can't hear because it cut out a little bit because my internet is mean to me.
No.
So, Artemisia actually has a bunch of hit points left. She's, like, not doing great. She's not doing awful. She's having a good time. So, getting a plane dropped on you hurts less than you'd think. And she looks around and she considers the problems that we currently have, which are that Remy is passed out and bleeding on the floor, and that her teammate is busy trying to help him not be bleeding on the floor. Almanac's on the other side of the room. And of course, we've still got a bag full of hostage, but like he's not being held anymore. He's just on the ground, still in the bag that's tied up. So she makes a split-second decision, and she dashes across the floor, which is she doubles her running speed so that she can go noom and grab the bag, and then she just kind of opens it up.
Yeah.
Just pulls it open, just poop, and then dumps him out.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll anything for that because it's just a tie net bag, and if you want it to be shut, it will be shut. If you want it to open, it's open. So you pour out this heap of assorted Bertie bits, and Bertie bits every flavour beans. There's a joke there somewhere, but
Please
I can't.
don't eat them.
Oh, no, don't eat them. That would taste really weird, especially the blue ones. And yeah, Bertie sort of says from somewhere, you're not sure where his mouth is, and he sort of says, "Oh, thank you very much. I'll try and pull myself together." And he sounds like really wonky, but yeah, you have released the hair from the bag. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Okay, I'm thinking, can I use, I'm a monk, which means I probably have, like, good abilities to, like, sense things around me because I do martial arts and stuff, and I have really high insight, and I have decent perception. Can I, like, narrow down where fake Eek is?
Yes, you can try. I mean, he is invisible, so, like, I'm gonna give you disadvantage on, like, trying to sense where he is, just because he's invisible.
Okay, then she uses her monk insight, and that includes just, like, there's a bunch of people on the floor. Eek can't be taking up the same amount of space that everyone else is taking up. And also, there's fire, so things are smoking,
yes,
and all that other stuff.
There
and
is
it all
fire.
comes together in a conglomeration.
Yeah, I will say thank you, because there is fire in the middle of this room, and it is a wooden floor, but we'll come to that.
So, D20 plus 4.
Okay.
And D20 plus 4.
Okay, so the less good of those was an 11. And, yeah, you can't really pick up where he is. Like, you don't get any helpful gusts of wind or piece of fabric moving where it shouldn't be. But what you can do is deduce where he cannot be. And, yeah, so he's obviously not where the giant burning biplane is. He is not by any of the exits, because none of the weasel guards have moved out of the way, and they are all basically, you know, by the doors. So he hasn't escaped the room like he did last time. He isn't trying to do anything mean to Bertie, because you just dumped him on the floor like a big pile of licorice all sorts. And yeah, you basically feel like he's gone somewhere in this room, but he is not immediately close to anybody else in this room. That's what I'll give you for an 11.
Yeah, point.
I
You
was
have
gonna be
bardic
like,
inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
I do have bardic inspiration. I do. I want to save that for like something when I really need it. I was gonna ask, since I got like an 11, which is like a half out of 20, can I at least get a which side of the room he's on?
Upper.
The upper side. Okay, so she turns towards the upper side of the room, and if any of her teammates are looking at her, they'll see like her take her fighting stance towards that side of the room, like the real threat is over there.
I think you misinterpreted what I meant by upper, but I'm gonna move on because it's Lizard Lady's turn and she's really annoyed at you because you were so rude. Like, you were so rude. So she's going to swing her halberd at you. That's a 10. And she's,
Doesn't do it.
and she's going to try and butt you with her shield again. That's gonna
That'll do it.
Okay, you're knocked prone. You're on your ass. Like, you don't take any damage, but you're gonna have to take your turn to stand up. You can't move anywhere on your next turn, basically.
Yeah, this is like, there could have been a pun in here about a turtle being knocked on her back.
Yes! I'm so glad you picked up on
But
that.
like, there wasn't, so
Yeah.
just
I was letting you take the advantage. I was like, she'll get it. She's got the turtle character. She'll understand. Anyway, okay, so Almanac, it is now your go after all of this crazy stuff.
Okay. Things have gone thoroughly off the rails.
Mhm.
That is, I mean, to be fair, they were never really on them. Almanac is going to take a look at Pierre, lift their hand, and use Healing Light,
Aw.
which will heal him for, let's see, 3 points. So
Yeah,
he's still probably not doing great, but he's not
doing
at
great.
1 anymore.
He's not doing great, but he can stand up now, and yeah, so can get out of trouble, basically, on his own 2 feet, so that's really good, and yeah, he actually just gives you a hug, like, spontaneously. He's very, very grateful.
Almanac gives him a little pat on the head and
Aw.
says, I believe you should get out of here before things get somehow worse.
I agree.
And yeah, he starts to run towards the door that you both came in, but retreats because there is a guard there and sort of is like, ha, and kind of hangs back near you, but is clearly going to do that the next opportunity he gets. Do you have any bonus actions or anything else you want to do?
That was my bonus action.
Oh,
so
okay.
for my main action,
Your main action.
I am going to cast Eldritch Blast on the Snake Lady.
Yeah, babe. Do it, do it.
snack, snack, snack,
Snack, snack, snack.
Snack, snack.
snack.
Snake, it's a snake. Oh yes, you hit the snake.
Oh,
Heck
it's a
yeah.
snake.
It's a
Do
snack.
damage, 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 damage.
That is an old meme.
Yeah, it is. We're
God,
playing
that's
D&D. This
ancient.
is old memes.
That's
It is aged like fine wine.
That's as old as hamburgers and whoop beer.
Oh man, a 1! What a shame. I mean, that
No,
makes for
You know
good.
what? No, you know what?
Bardic inspiration.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
bardic
yeah, yeah, yeah.
inspiration to max out the damage.
Okay,
I know, you add 1d6.
I was gonna say that's not how it works.
to add a d6.
Yep.
Add a d6.
If you get like another one from this, I'm just gonna
I swear.
Oh.
Oh, no, wait. Exclamation point.
Yeah.
like give it a shot.
Technically, in the rules, it says add
Yes,
to a
a
d20
six!
roll, but-
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, there we go.
finally! I mean, your rolls have been so bad this whole game. I was like, what is going on? But yeah, you smack her, but good. Also, this lady's name is Hydra, so you can make all the Captain America jokes you like. But yeah, you smack her in the face with this hard to understand light, and she staggers back and is winded but not down. She looks like kind of shocked about what happened, because she's the hard ass who doesn't usually get hurt, but yeah, she's annoyed, a little bit taken
I
aback.
would like it if everyone would stop picking on my friends.
Okay.
God, I'm getting Baymax vibes.
Now, I'm going to do... this is the Weasel's turn, and I'm basically going to play all 4 of them at once, just so we get them all out of the way. And they did arrive at the same time, so that's why. However, I'm going to do something else, which I have done in a previous game, which is a luck roll, because Charlie did something, and I'm going to see if anything happens to us again. No, I'm afraid the sabotage that you conducted on that suspended car has not fulfilled itself. It's that was a 5 I rolled, so the car does not fall and squash 2 of the weasels, which would have been great. However, 2 of the weasels are going to come at Almanac and Pierre, but I'm going to basically make them attack Almanac because he's perceived as a threat. So that's going to be... That's not going to do it. Because these guys aren't too strong. Okay, yeah, both of those attacks, like, ping, plang, just, like, clatter off your mechanical outside, and, yeah, they look kind of sheepish. They look a bit embarrassed, frankly, you know, like, both of them attacked you and couldn't do shit. So, that's weird. And the 2 weasels that came in after Ekim are closest to Artemisia. So, one of them is going to attack you, and this fella's got a +2. Oh, I think that hits. That's a 19. Does that hit you? It does hit you. Okay,
it's not like she can do much about it. She's on the floor.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I would have had
actually,
advantage.
I hate to say it. She's prone, so that gives them advantage.
Oh, shit. Okay, so that's a rapier piercing attack of 6 to you. And
Ow.
the other one goes to attack you, but what happens is someone else tries to do something first. And it doesn't work, but Bertie really did try to use his various components to trip the other guy up. So you'll have to forgive that didn't work, but he tried. 11 doesn't hit.
That don't do.
And an 8 doesn't hit.
That don't do either.
So, okay, so the other guy was distracted enough by this sack of body components that he was wigged out and basically missed you both times. So, hey, it works. Charlie,
Hey.
it is finally your turn again.
There's just so many players in this combat. Alright, Charlie's legit just gonna cup his hands around his mouth and yell out, "Okay, who needs healing?"
Already raises her hand.
Okay, because I know that. All right, so Pierre is okay enough for the moment.
Yep.
I know I need healing. Artemisia needs healing. What's Bertie like?
Bertie, you think that in the attempt to trip over someone, he squashed his own mouth, so he can't say anything. It's entirely up to you.
Okay, Artemisia, how much health have you got left?
9 hit
Percentage-wise.
points. 9 hit points out of 24.
Okay,
So
I'm at,
about a third.
okay, I'm at like a little bit below half. You take priority. Charlie's gonna come over and cast Cure Wounds on you. So that's 1d8 plus 6.
Nice.
Okay, so Charlie's crossed the room.
Take 14 health.
Yeah. That gets me almost all the way back up to completely healed. Thank you, Charlie. You're good. I
You are very
appreciate
welcome.
Charlie so much.
Charlie is a good boy.
You are, yeah.
Repayment for feeding him.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Like you gave me food, Charlie. We'll heal you. It is all good. Yeah. Charlie can't exactly do much. Actually, I'll tell you what he can do here because Cure Wounds is a touch attack. Therefore, he had to move in close enough
Yeah.
to actually touch Artemisia, which means now he's also surrounded by the 2 weasels.
Yeah.
Or was it? Yeah, the 2 weasels. And now he's actually gonna use his ability of Expeditious Retreat to just get the heck back out of there, so he's not gonna get hit by anyone.
You
It's
actually,
smart.
because you did this, you hear a sort of annoyance from somewhere. You thwarted
Okay.
something. But
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah. So Charlie just darts back out. So he's again, more or less in the middle of things, but not close enough to the plane chandelier to get set on fire.
Yeah, just to say, the fire has expanded around the plane, so if you take, like, that was a really cute meow. Yeah,
She's
it was!
being weird.
Baby, be
It's
a
the
voice
cutest
actor.
cat noise.
Anyway, so basically that area with the scribble on the map is a little bit bigger, but it's not huge right now. But it's hard in here. It's hard in Topeka. It's Doofus's turn, and thank you. I love that show. So Doofus is now having a moral quandary. So what happens is I roll a d2 and see which side he goes for. He goes for the good guys! Hey!
Hell yeah!
Okay, so
What a good boy.
Doofus has the revelation that maybe this Prince Ekim is not nice. And basically he turns around to the snake lady, the lizard lady, and says, "You know what? I don't think you're a really nice person. You're always mean to me." And he's like, "Stomp." And then he made fun of the fact that I like pink. Stomp. And pink's a really pretty color. I mean, look at that guy over there. He rocks the pink. And Bertie from underneath all this net so says, "Oh, you tell him, lad, it's gender is a spectrum." And yes, Doofus then goes to attack the snake lady. So that's going to be d20 plus 4. Oh, yeah, baby. That's going to be a big smackaroony on the head with his club. So that's going to be d20 plus 3. Smack-ow! Kabam! Okay, so this chicken leg of wood comes thudding down onto the lady called Hydra, and she goes cross-eyed and raises a finger as if she's about to say something, and she falls over, effectively and ironically poleaxed, and drops her halberd and her little butting shield. So, yeah, you are down one rather menacing NPC, and yeah, it is now someone's turn. It is someone's turn, and that someone isn't on the ground floor, and you have to hang on. Do I get advantage on attacks if I'm invisible?
No.
No, I don't. I didn't think I did. Okay.
You don't.
So,
At all.
but basically he's going with what worked before, but it still counts as an attack. So I'm just going to roll a straight d20 because I don't know what you add to attack when you're dropping a chandelier on someone. Okay, that's an 18. Yeah, that will land on Artemisia, that's for sure. Fortunately, it's a smaller object this time. It's not an entire plane. It's like a suspended part of a mechanism. It's like a kind of what do you call it? You know that mechanical device they found under the ocean and like offshores of Greek, and like
A submarine?
no, it was this amazing device that predicted eclipses, which shouldn't have existed as long ago as it did, according to what we knew previously. But anyway, it's an old-fashioned mechanical what's-it-doodad, but it's small enough that it only hits one person. However, it's fallen...
Is this like the Antikythera?
That's probably it. Anyway, so that's just going to do d8. Okay, so Artemisia, that lands on you, and...
I'm fine.
That's fine.
I have a turtle shell.
But because
Also,
this is...
really glad you got healed up last turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
But also because this is the big bad and he's attacked, so he has revealed himself to be sort of hanging off one of these pillars. He might as well throw a knife at someone, and that someone is going to be Charlie, because you're within range.
Dear.
That
Does not hit.
No, you get a dramatic thud twang as it lands in the floorboards near your feet. But again, he looks extremely not pleased about this and makes a sort of noise. And it's really weird because he's still disguised as Ekim, so you have this kind of manic royal mouse scuttling up and down the pillar. It's creepy. Okay. Yeah, Artemisia, it's your turn.
Man, I wish I had rolled better in initiative, because this is just heck. But Artemisia's, she's still prone, so I gotta use my action to make her stand. So she gets up, but God, does using my action to make me stand, can I still hit someone?
Oh yeah, if they're within range, and there are 2 weasels who are in range.
Okay, then she stands up and she picks up her walk and she's gonna try and hit some weasels with it.
Go for
She's
it.
gonna try to pop some weasels.
Hey!
Hey.
Or walk some weasels in this case.
Yep. So that's d20 and then +4. So, gosh,
Nope.
dang it! I have bardic inspiration. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shark?
We're allowed to swear. I think I've done it at least 3 times already.
Okay, so
We're allowed to swear, it's fine. It's just the tunes that
that's
can't.
better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's better.
Yep. And you have a preference. There's one with a rapier and one with a spear.
Whoever tried to stab me before.
The one who succeeded in stabbing you is the one with the rapier.
Yep, time to smack rapier boy.
Okay.
So, that would be 1d8 +2.
Mm-hmm.
9.
Wong! You get him real good upside the chin, and he looks not great. He looks bloody, and he certainly is. He's not down yet, but he looks like very convinced that fighting you is a terrible idea.
Guess what I can do now as a bonus action?
Oh boy.
Flurry of blows.
Yeah! Do it.
Oh, monks are so good.
It's so much fun. I'm having such a good time. So, flurry of blows, take the attack action. I spend 1 key point. I focus my key, and then I'm gonna make 2 unarmed strikes. So, time to punch the same guy I just whacked real hard with the arm that is currently covered by the shield type. Basically, the walk's cover, she puts it on her other arm, and she's gonna use it like some brass knuckles to punch this man.
I get
And
Go.
so that's d20 +4, because it's still technically an unarmed strike, because it's like bludgeoning, and I'm not trying to murder him. I'm just trying to punch him hard.
17 will do
That'll
it.
do it. And that will be 1d4 +2. 5.
Yep.
Gonk.
He's done. He's down. Ring the 3rd bell. Like he is KO'd. In fact, a little ref Elmer Fudd character bursts in out of the door like from nowhere and like does the 5, 4, 3 like countdown, slapping on the mat and like he's down. And it's like woo, and then like
And
disappears.
I'm having such a good time with this. I get 1 more unarmed strike, so it's time to hit the other one.
Okay.
With she's gonna do a spin kick to see if she can hit him finally. So d20 +4. Oh dang it!
Nope, it bounces off.
Darn
his nose.
you!
It bounces off the
Yep,
metal plate on his face. Helmet. That's the word.
Yep.
Yes.
Gonk.
Gonk.
But I did just punch his buddy real hard, so she's feeling good.
Yep. And Lizard Lady is out for the count as well, so it's straight to Almanac.
All right, so we can see creepy Eek skittering around now.
Creaky.
Yep.
Creaky, yeah.
Creaky mouse.
So he is going to need to make a wisdom saving throw as Almanac casts Hold Person.
Ooh, interesting. He does have a +2 to it, but let's see. 7. That's not going to do it, I guess.
Oh, he does not make it. He is paralyzed.
Ooh.
So since he's skittering around up top, I think that means he falls down.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because he was on a vertical surface, so yeah, he just like straight plummets like a frozen cockroach. Alma, I'm gonna hold you. Creak is hold. Thank you, Owl, for that contribution.
You're welcome.
Oh, very good, very good.
Okay, so yeah, you actually he should take some fall damage for that. So I'm gonna make that up on the spot and say Yeah, he takes 4 full damage.
Alrighty. That was, let's see. That would be my action, and also, you know what? Let's just be nice now that Doofus is no longer the big scary enemy. They're gonna bonus action do a healing light on him.
Aww.
Oh, we're good.
That's also a good idea because you were being very mean to him, so that will kind of make up for it.
Yeah.
You've lasered him twice.
Oh, come on!
You healed Doofus this enormous pile of hit points for 1 hit
There,
point.
I can do 2 at once, so he gets a full 6 back.
Okay, that's
All
good.
that counts.
Honestly, you know, and it's soon to be his turn, but I just have to say, like, no one is very nice to him. Like, people are mean to him and assume that he's just big and mean and stupid, but he's just kind of big and stupid. And he looks at you, like, with a slightly quivery lower lip, like you just gave him a birthday present. He's really, really pleased.
I
Oh, what a good boy.
He is a good boy.
hope we can let bygones be bygones.
Hey! You know who aren't good boys? The 2 weasels that are left. They are
I
closest...
killed one of them.
Oh no, yeah. There's only 2 that can reach Almanac, and they are both going to. And actually, hang on a minute, because how close are you to this biplane again?
Me?
No, Almanac.
Okay.
Almanac actually, they got Pierre out from under it. They healed him up.
But they didn't move.
So
much,
they haven't really moved since then, which is an issue.
did they? Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to make a Constitution saving throw as well. I will say that.
Cool.
Okay, one of them makes it for sure. Okay, one of them doesn't. Okay, yeah, you make it.
Alright.
But you also may, like, just voluntarily or involuntarily take a step back because, the fire is getting places, but the problem is the fact that you have got a biplane, a filthy mechanical biplane, which is burning, and it is the smoke, in fact, that one of these weasels takes damage from. So he inhales 5 hit points of damage and coughs and splutters a lot, and that's nasty. That's not nice. So, but he's going to take out his...
Almanac does not need to breathe, but fire is bad. So.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, that's a valid argument to make. But yeah, this weasel is going to take out his vitriol on you and try and hit you, but good. 11 does not. But
Nope.
he inhaled a puff of smoke and just, like, he's too dizzy. He just goes and misses. And the other one also misses.
Oh my
But
God.
I'm gonna say, like, the reason the other weasel misses is he's, like, basically looking at the door. And after he misses that attack, he basically just says, "Yeah, screw it," and throws down his sword and shield and runs out of the door. He's gone. He's, like, super gone. He's so far away.
You know what? Smart man.
Yeah,
The building is on fire.
the building is on fire. We have one more weasel left, however, who is all up in Charlie's business, because Charlie is, like, standing up. And the monk is very scary. Doesn't really want anything to do with that. And you can tell, like, this weasel is also having the difficulty deciding whether or not to stay and attack. But he looks up and sees Ekim and is more scared of that guy than, you know, the prospect of staying in a burning building, so figure that one out. He does not manage to hit Charlie. Presumably because he's so petrified and is having a bad day. So, that's all of the weasels. That's all of the weasels done, and now it's Charlie's turn.
Okay, so the Charlie just kind of looks at the weasel that just tried to attack him, and just goes, "Bad idea, mate," and pulls out a sword
Oh no!
because he has a rapier.
He does.
Sorry,
Owl's
he
just
could cast a spell.
Owl's
He
just
could
added
do all these things, but at the
something
same
which is great.
time, nothing works quite the same as just, a sword.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or not.
I still have bardic inspiration.
Oh, that's
so...
true. But Al just had to add, "We didn't start the fire. It's been always burning, and that's quite concerning. Oh, we didn't." Very good.
Okay, does a 13 hit?
A
I'm like,
13.
I didn't want to interrupt anyone's cool ass stuff, so I'm like, I'll just put the joke in the chat.
It's a background piece of, you know, we've got a backing track now. I didn't write a song for this one, sorry guys. Yeah, no, that makes his AC. You do just about get him. You find a weak point in his armor.
Almost got him. Get him.
So he takes 5 damage.
Ugh. And yeah, he's not pleased about this, but like he's all right. And what happens next is something interesting happens. Hopefully. The floor attacks him. So Bertie has found his mouth and gives him a really good poke with 2 very large buck teeth. Which is basically my replacement for his rapier. So, yeah, the guard sort of says, ha ha, at you, and then goes, ah, and falls over because apparently he chomped him really good and, like, cut through an artery or something. Because, yeah, the guy.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he's down. He didn't have many hit points.
Can I please request that one of Bertie's hands has also kind of made its way over here, and like Charlie holds up his hand, Bertie's hand jumps up and they high five, please.
Yes, that absolutely happens. Yes, that's it. Yeah, okay, and yeah, all of the weasels effectively are disbanded now. That was Charlie's turn. I'm confused. Whose turn is it now? I've got lost.
Charlie just had his turn. Then it was Bertie. I don't know who comes next.
Oh,
Pretty
that's
sure
it. Yeah. It's Doofus. But Doofus is like now a sort of neutral party. Because yeah, he's on your side, but he's also like way out of range of Prince Ecom, and still thinks that this is Prince Ecom. So he says up at this scuttling horror story, sort of, I'm sorry.
Remember, he is paralyzed on the floor.
Oh, he's paralyzed on the floor. That's even better. So yeah, he walks over to this really grim-looking thing and says, I'm sorry, I just don't think that I like royalty that much. You see, my mom was always a Republican, and, you know, the whole politics of it is kind of complicated. I prefer to live in a democracy. I was actually gonna move to UPA later this year, so I think it would be best for both of us if we just take this easy on each other. And he like picks this cot thing up and gives it a hug, like a big slap on the back, like they're saying goodbye, like they've been really good friends for ages. And even though he's paralyzed, you can see Ecom's face like, oh, I hate you, I hate this, I'm going to kill everyone in this room. And Doofus like puts him very gently back down on the floor, still paralyzed, and he waves shyly at Almanac because he's still a bit scared of you because you hurt him, but you also healed him. And he says, maybe we'll meet again. Bye. And just like walks out of the door. It is the most anticlimactic shit you've ever seen. Okay, and then it's Ecom's turn. Can I do anything about the fact that he's paralyzed at all?
So he cannot do anything this turn, but you can roll a wisdom save to see if he is able to move next turn.
Okay. That's gonna be a no, I'm guessing.
Yeah, not quite.
No. Okay, well, basically, what this means is, you guys, you've won, because everyone is either dead, absent, or paralyzed. So I think that constitutes a victory! Hooray!
Artemisia strides across the floor, holds up her wok, and gets ready to smack this man. While he's still paralyzed on the floor.
Any of you gonna
Charlie
stop this? No.
Charlie is gonna quickly cast Cure Wounds on Bertie because, like, okay, yeah, maybe from UPA, but being in pieces like this probably isn't good. So
yeah, that's very kind. You hear a sort of combined with sort of Lego clicking sounds or Duplo or something as this person reassembles themselves, and they still look a bit wonky, but yeah, they are they are standing upright and shaking you enthusiastically by the hand. And my goodness, you were not prepared for how tall this hare is. Like, he's really up there, man. He's like super, super tall, very lanky. Like, yeah, it's a fun time. Oh my god. I don't know if I can put that gif on the video.
Charlie isn't very tall, even for a cat. Like,
Yeah.
so this is amazing. This
Yeah,
is the best.
yeah. And he's, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, hang on. I've got something. Aha! Oh, I don't often get to do magic. This is wonderful. And he pulls out a scroll out of his little haversack, and somehow, miraculously, because it had been disassembled with the rest of him, they hadn't managed to search it or take it away. And he uses a scroll of sending, and within a couple of minutes, like half an hour, because they had a patrol station fairly nearby, some actual royal guards turn up. These are the UPAans, although they don't really have a royal family. They're just like the whole thing, you know? They get cool outfits and a funny hat, and they do medals. It's like a whole thing. And anyway, yeah, so Bertie was acting as a scout, and they all come in, and the plot is revealed. And yes, between now and then you can use the false Ecom as a punching bag, if you like. You're very welcome to do that. Anybody want to do that?
Yeah, Artie's just smack, smack, smack. He dropped a plane on her.
Yep, that's fair.
And also part of, like, something you find underwater. She's angry.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing. Is anybody going to try and put out that fire, or are you just leaving the building?
I think let's just go out of the building. This place looked pretty condemned anyway. There's no point trying to save it at this point.
And there's nobody inside. I mean, we got everyone out, so it's fine.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there's a bunch of unconscious people scattered around in the burning building.
Well, for the
I
sake
will
of
drag them
argument, we
out.
got everyone out.
Okay.
Okay. Well, actually, yeah, I will say that Bertie is chaotic good, so he wouldn't let them burn to death. So you variously tie them up and drag them outside, whether or not you want
At
to.
most,
Yeah.
we just set their asses on fire.
Yes.
We're good people here.
Poor Gary, he's gonna sue you later. Yeah, and yeah, you wait outside, and as all is revealed, the entire husk of this hall collapses in on itself in a sort of dramatic, we don't look at explosions kind of way. It's really cool. There's a sort of poof, and then you hear the classic ting, 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 as part of a hubcap rolls away into the distance. And you hear, oh no! Because Mr. Frog has returned back home. I'm never going to pay off the mortgage! And that's the end of the story, folks. You get a big thank you from the Kingdom of Giznep and the UPAans who have been investigating as a neutral party. So you get a big reward. You get 60 gold pieces, and that's each.
That
That's
will
each.
buy lots of fried rice.
It will. And yes, in fact, Pierre gets an honorary sort of quality stamp that he can put above his restaurant, like a Michelin star, but it's like a Giznep star. And he gets free ingredients for the next 6 months, which is great.
It's a Mickey Mouse head.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, it's an
Ecom
Ecom head.
Ecom Giznep head. Yes, but you all also receive a metal tag with the UPAan crest on it, which basically will get you in good with any officials from UPA because you did them a big favour and you saved one of their scouts, which is Bertie. So
Yay.
Yeah, we did it.
you did
None
it.
of us are dead.
Roll credits.
Hurrah!
I'm sorry
Can I
that
just
like
say,
it was super long.
Toad Hall burned
Pass
down.
roll
but oh well.
by.
Can I say,
Something.
smash cut back to Pierre's restaurant, and this time they're all cooking together in the little kitchen, and the place is like bustling, like there are actually people inside the restaurant, and there's food around, and Artemisia's again working her walk magic, and Pierre's helping her out in the kitchen, also doing some of his own cooking, and we got Charlie. God, I hope he's not fleecing people, but
He will be.
he's there, and also Almanac is going around taking orders with his little notebook.
Yeah! You'd be good at that.
Charlie is absolutely running
be
like
good at
little
that.
bar scams, like not enough to actually get any serious money off people, but just like enough for another. Like, oh yeah, you pay for my next drink if you can work out. It's like if you can't work out how I do this little trick, you pay for my next drink, and that sort of stuff.
Yes, excellent.
That's great.
I'm sorry, I love cute things.
No, that's
Cute
a
things make me happy.
good ending scene.
Delightful.
Good ending scene. Any further additions before I stop recording?
I think we're good.
It's everybody just
We're
for
all
fun.
You're a
Good.
very
So
good
much
DM
fun.
for putting up with this almost literal barge fire.
Yeah, that was
I was so
unexpected.
sad that we didn't quite manage to cause a paradox.
Yeah, but at the same time,
We
I'm
gave it our
delighted.
best shot.
I'm delighted that it all worked out somehow because I was like, I'm taking a big liberty with this opening scene. I hope I can actually play it. Thank you, gods of fate, for rolling with me this day. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Yeah, bye bye. Thank you for DMing.
No problem.
Thank you.
Bye.
You do